nice.
And check.
I shall close my stream then.
I was gonna say I am ready as well when everybody else is.
I just also realized if yours is making
I
one of the
am
elven
ready
races
as
and
well
you're
when
going to
everybody
be a
else
mouse,
is.
that means you might be at odds with each other.
Oh, hey guys, real quick, what is Flash supposed to do?
Flash is you can cast a creature or an enchantment or whatever, or if the card says Flash, they've put it on enchantments and artifacts now as well. You can cast it like an instant. It can cast at any moment.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't have to specifically say instant on it. That's what the Flash is supposed to be like?
Yeah, Flash is for creatures, enchantments, and artifacts that you, or I mean any card that is not an instant card that can be cast like an instant.
Oh, okay.
So if it says Flash, in any case where you could cast an instant card, like a counter spell or whatever, you can also cast that card. Oh shit, no, stop.
Okay.
Like lightning speed grabbing this token to add it in really quick.
Oh wow, it does give me the 10 seconds when my ally skill things. Oh, that works.
Cool.
I forget that some of these cards are just the same ones, but with just different names and artwork.
Yeah.
They took Swift Boots and just renamed it Air Shoes and changed the art.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Is everybody else ready?
I
Yeah.
do believe I am.
I might not be an elder yet. I need to check that.
That's
not
not
what it is,
that might give me another.
Yeah.
Name.
Okay, I need to open my flash sheet. Alrighty.
Before we start, while Sarp's getting ready, I just want to say that I think it is ridiculously amazing that we have not gotten Star Wars in Magic yet.
Disney and Hasbro is a dangerous combination.
Do they just not like each other?
No, I just mean that's an interesting combo. That's two very greedy corporations.
Those would be some expensive fucking cards.
They would indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you slap Star Wars name onto anything, people will buy it, so...
Oh yeah, I didn't say they wouldn't get bought. They're gonna be expensive though.
You think it would be more expensive than when the Final Fantasy pack came out?
Oh yeah. Just because like Star Wars is such a generational thing, like
I was about to say it'd probably be more expensive because more people know about it than Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy is it's huge,
It's very.
but like Star Wars is you know it's Star Wars. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'm just
And
waiting.
considering
to
how
get
much
the elevator
Hasbro would probably
pretty
have to
much,
pay
and
to
that's
use it.
I mean, they do make the action figures for Disney, so...
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that would mean they have pre-existing something.
Oh, Star Wars does already have its own trading card game. That's probably why.
Yeah, it's
remember
not
what it
very,
is,
it's
but-
not very good though.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
true. That's what I've heard.
It's not very
It's
good.
pretty poopy.
That's funny.
I hear the One Piece TCG is going off pretty well though.
Oh yeah, I've
Oh,
heard
really?
that one's. Yeah, I've heard that
There
it's
used to
going
be a
pretty
Mega
good.
Man TCG as well. Apparently, it did very well in Japan.
That makes sense. That tracks.
Yes. Yes, it does.
I think we were just waiting on Colton. I believe he's getting back now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, indeed.
Okay. Well, we left our group off after a very, well, it was intense for one of you, but the rest of you really just kind of had a normal day around the cabin. But we're just kind of moving along, and now we seem to be stopped by some very strange holes in the ground that a lot of you recognize.
And that's why I should never do fucking encounters anymore. That is twice in a row. That's why I was trying to do weather.
Bring up the intensity a little bit.
And before we move back to things on the first floor with Max and Serena and Alex, where is everybody else just currently? So Seraphim is in the armory looking for weapons. Raziel is doing Overwatch
I'm on the roof.
up at the top, right?
With my sniper rifle out at the moment and having cast arcane weapon on my gun. Just in case.
How long does that last, by the way?
Like a couple of hours?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was say if it's like a 60 seconds thing, you might hold off.
Oh no, it's not a 60.
Okay,
It's not
yeah,
a 60-second thing. No.
I didn't think you'd
Otherwise,
do that.
I wouldn't have said it. No. That would have been too much of a waste.
I was just checking, just to make sure.
What is Stone doing currently after hearing a Maxon call out over the comms that dwarven holes are showing up around the hab, and it kind of screeched to a halt.
I'd probably be going towards where everyone else is, just to make sure.
Okay.
Everything's
Lasts
fine.
an hour.
Then, as you leave, you would see Seraphim walking past you towards the armory. And do you want to stay with him, or do you want to like keep moving down?
I'll ask him what's going on. See if he knows anything.
I imagine it's going to be obscenity.
Probably. That's part of the reason why I'm asking.
As far as I
you
know,
did roll.
the goddamn dwarves are circling around us, creating tunnels. So I can't fucking be here for that long. I'm going to the armory. Blow those fuckers sky high.
Alright, I'll go topside, see if I can assist with anything.
Sure, do what you want.
Okay. So, are you going up the stairs, Stone, or are you going down the stairs?
If you don't
Probably
have range,
gonna
I'd go down.
Up. Don't have range? Okay, then I'm probably going down in that.
I
you're gonna
have
be-
range. That's why I'm with a gun up top.
Okay, so yeah, I'm probably going to go down then, meet them on the ground.
I will quickly interject, Raziel.
Is there
Rigel
windows?
is crackling and sparking,
Oh.
and the eyes seem to be like twitching as the wheels spin, and as they keep looking in the directions of the holes that have surrounded the hab unit.
In this time, since the outset of the announcement, I will have like eyeballed Alex like immediately, and then like drop the bag on the table to have him like help me apply the armor that I didn't think I would need just yet for the day. So
He doesn't
during
say
all of
anything,
this,
but he will move over and begin to assist. But
How long does it take you to doff your done armor?
60 seconds with help.
Fuck, so 10 rounds.
All right, so while you have been suiting up, Stone is going down the stairs, and as you round the second floor, you're coming down the stairs. You're met by Hammer, and he begins to follow you down as well. He was leaving the comms room. Heard over the comms. I told Doc Green she's barricaded in the lab.
I think I should stay with her, maybe give extra security.
Probably
do that
about
if
this
you-
point. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Hammer, just if you would like, I need to move down to see what the rest of the crew is doing. So yeah, if you would like to stay and guard Dot Green, you can place yourself in the infirmary over here, and I'm gonna move
Probably
Hammer
will do that.
here.
This would probably be about the time I'd holler over the radio. If anybody's going near the armory and heading up to where I'm at, I'm on the top floor. You might grab extra in case I need one of the bigger guns.
Nice.
I'll try to remember that.
Thanks.
And around that time, Hammer is going to run down about here, see that Alex and Serena are preoccupied, and he's going to run up to you, Maxon. What'd you see? It's hard to find. It was hard to see him through the cameras.
They're trying to hold up. I think they're trying to collapse the ground around us. They want us to fall in.
Alright. I'm gonna have it sit still for a while. Did you see anything coming out? Hear any noises?
No, I just saw stuff fall in.
Okay. Shit. And he turns and moves begins to run back over here and kind of goes in here to the generator room. Alright, you all are free to do another little thing before we proceed.
Have I finished my armor by all of this happenings, or?
I'll say you're finished.
Okay, because I figured within like about the 2 minutes that Maxon had been outside, I think is what you said last time or last session, and then like that, I figured it would be kind of lenient there. So armor on, helmet in hand, not on my head yet. I'm gonna step out of the mess. I imagine Alex is right behind me. I'm gonna tell him, and catching Maxon as I walk by to make sure he hears me as well. I'm gonna say, I would like to go outside and attempt to talk to them. It's considered a curiosity. Alex, could you drive the truck?
And I need someone to translate for you too. I can do that.
I want to go out there with her.
While watching these holes, do I see anything? Do I need to make a perception roll to see if anything's coming out of them yet?
You see what looks like a fire somewhere down in the hole is burning, and there's like smoke and embers kind of coming up.
What was Hammer doing again? I imagine some of this was on the radio at minimum.
He moved. No, I just forgot to say because I had too many things on my mind. He's going into the generator room to take some seismic readings to see how the ground is around the unit.
As I'm walking through the hall, and
doing.
I am speaking quite loudly, since Alex wants to translate and Maxon wants to accompany, I'm going to speak really loudly. I'm going to say, Hammer, when you're done, go and start the half track for me. And,
over the intercom of the hab, you just hear his voice. Affirmative.
Pull it up to the door and sit and wait.
As you say that, you see one of Hammer's automatons begin to walk down the hall
And do it.
begin to prepare the half track.
He's like, there ain't no waiting. This is emergency time.
Now. All right. But yeah. So what is everyone else going to do while we're
that's it for me.
doing that?
Just walk towards the door.
Okay. Yeah. We'll move you and Alex towards the garage. Maxon, since you're in the closest vicinity, are you just going to go with Serena? Is there anything else you wanted to do? Or are you just going to follow Serena and Alex?
Do I have time to stock off on anything? Because if this goes south, this could be a big problem.
And for pre-clarity, I am taking the plasma rifle. I flat out just honestly left the Widow's Whisper on the table in the mess room.
Okay.
Yeah. How about
Yeah, what's
this?
up?
Before I go outside, and since I'm in the armory, how about I make a roll, and depending on what the outcome is, you tell me what I was able to grab.
Well, you're in the hangar, not the armory. You'd have to go up to the third floor with Seraphim.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make your way up there if you wanted to. It's just
We have to go up anyways, right?
Well, I'm headed out. I'm going out the door.
No,
So if you want to go up, you can.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're gonna go with Serena, you'll have to. There are weapons on the half track, so you could roll for that. But if you wanted to go to the armory, you would have to go upstairs while they're going out.
I'll take what's the closest to me.
Okay. There, we'll say that it's the standard plasma rifle, or not the plasma, the laser rifle stats. I think, Colton, do you still have those?
Small point of order, just on like what Maxon's doing. Robert, another thing you could do, because my intention is to have the half track driven to the door, and then somebody, me, Alex, I don't care, I literally don't care who, somebody use and sit on that solar cannon in case.
Oh, yeah.
If it's in the door and it's in range, at least with those two, because it can swivel, you know, I imagine. So if somebody's on it and we don't have to wait for somebody to get to it, that would be convenient. But if you don't want to do that, don't feel pressured by what I'm saying. I wanted to offer that really quickly since you were kind of looking for something to do. That could work if you want, but it's inevitably up to you. That was the idea, that I was trying to get the truck started and like moved. That's why I was doing that. So, but you do what you want. I just want to make the option available for you.
Yeah.
Peek open the secrets in my head. Anyways, good to go.
And if he hasn't done it already, I would have probably asked Hammer to lock down everything but the front door.
It's a good idea.
Oh,
I'm sure
you
he
guys
has.
have already. I was about to say, you guys already heard like all
all the doors, windows closing with metal.
I was about to say, yeah. Like it got dark in the hab real fast before the emergency lights came on.
Now, this is a pyramid-shaped hab, correct? So if I wanted to slide down the side to get to the ground, I could, right?
Not smooth pyramid. Think more like Mesoamerican. Yeah, like layered.
But
Like
still able to
Aztec,
get
so
down
it's
if I
like-
need to.
Stairs.
Yeah, it's like
Gotcha.
you would be able to slide down a certain extent, but you would have to like watch out for like gaps and like it. Being up here, make a perception check.
By the way, if you're
think about
thinking of Giza, they're not smooth. They're only smooth on the top. They're actually also the same way.
Oh yeah.
They're big.
Yeah.
stone
History
steps.
nerd.
No,
Just saying.
I just meant more like style
I
and
got you.
like style-wise, it's more like that wide tiered shape.
He just said slide, and
is
I
an
was thinking
ability
about it
check,
for a
right?
second, and I was like, those aren't smooth though. That would hurt.
Yeah, no, I imagine that would hurt very much.
What was
This
your roll?
is an ability. This is an ability check, right?
Yeah, it's a perception check. Yeah.
I was just double checking because I was going to go ahead and, because I suck at perception, I'm going to add my flash of genius, which is an extra +4 on top of the +2. So I got a dirty 20. I need as much information as I can get for this crap, just in case.
As you're looking around, seeing if you can slide, you almost see that not only is it locking down, but it almost looks like it might be like shifting certain places and opening up almost. It hasn't done anything just yet, but it looks like it's like priming to like almost open up and expand
Open the
even
gun
more.
ports, kind of thing.
You
possibly.
assume that at first, but then it's like they're pretty big openings,
Did you?
or at least like pretty big primed openings.
Another quick question. So the holes, like you said, between the front holes and the back holes, there was a trench. There was trenches that opened up, right? Is that what you said, or am I misremembering?
Like in between the
Yeah, exactly that.
Connecting them.
Connecting the front and the back. Is that? I don't. Maybe I'm making that up, and I misheard you.
no, not yet, but you are seeing that the ground is starting to get a little bit thinner here, but it's mainly just these holes are just here and they're just kind of smoldering now.
Okay.
As far as you all can tell, like no roll or anything, the ground here isn't really moving, but from what you expect, this whole area is probably primed, because those of you that know anything about how the dwarves operate know they can make much bigger holes than this if they wanted to, so this was more of just they're probably telling you to just stop.
I had that bad feeling. That bad feeling being exactly what you just said, which is why I'm going outside. All right. With that terrifying knowledge.
Alright, we are going to jump over to Seraphim real quick as he enters the armory.
Seraphim...
What is-
he's...
I was about to say, what do you find, or what are you looking for specifically?
The heavy shit. Where's the heavy rocket launcher?
It would, since it recently got unloaded, it would probably be right here. Correct me if I'm wrong, the heavy rocket launcher, did I say that was two-person? Like you needed someone to shoot it and reload it?
I'm gonna be fully honest, I genuinely don't remember.
I can't remember.
Neither do I.
Because I was so fixated on the single man light rocket launcher that I don't remember.
Yeah, because we had the light rocket launcher, which they fire the same missiles, it's just the heavy rocket launcher does more damage. But,
Yep.
so yeah, it's whichever you want.
I don't want to be relying on anybody. I don't know what I want. Let's see what they want. And
Oh, fuck.
Seraphim's gonna grab the lighter.
Here we go.
A lighter rocket launcher.
We have tipped him over the edge.
18 pounds.
Could you tell us what happens as he picks it up?
Should I change the music?
Grabs it haphazardly. Then he stops and just picks it up gently. Just. Ain't she a beaut?
Oh no.
This is going to win us over right now. I can feel it. This is what I've been preparing for. This is going to blow those bastards down into their holes. All right. Where's the arm? Where's the... and Seraphim is also going to put on the armor outfit that he had before and grab as many... strap the rocket launcher to his back, grab as many lights as he can. How many do we have?
You guys have quite a bit.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
We got a couple.
Couple is the biggest understatement of the year.
You only really need 2 light rocket launchers. You just need a case of ammo to take with you.
Yep. Oh, there it is.
Or 2. I don't know how many would be in a case.
We have about, for light, we have about 100 light rockets.
I'd say that's like 2 cases.
Okay, yeah, Seraphim is going to...
No, 50 per case. 50 should do us. I'd only grab 1.
This may be enough. I'm not sure.
As you go to pick it up, a automaton does walk up and offer to carry it for you.
Nice.
At least like that, like the ammunition. So you don't at least have to carry the box, because the box itself it's a heavy case. So it's offering to at least carry it up there with you, so you can focus on carrying the weapons and like ammo in your person and shit.
Perfect. Let's
Each
see.
light rocket launcher is 18 pounds, so yeah, that makes sense. The medium's 42 pounds. Oh yeah.
Seraphim will use the earpiece to talk. Just, Raziel, what exactly did you want me to bring from the armory? I am here. There's a lot of good shit.
Possibly some grenades. Definitely an extra light rocket launcher in case I need to grab something that does a little bit extra.
You bet your ass I'll bring the extra rocket launcher. All right, grenades.
Past that, I'm not sure what else was brought or bought.
We have 2 plasma rifles, 2 HMGs, 8 mags, 1 extra suppressor, 30 plasma grenades, 30 rifles. We have 20 tracer rounds, 20 AP mines, 20 AT mines. And we have...
The mines wouldn't do us any good. Anti-personnel mines, you need to take a full action to place and then activate. So
we do have... I'm bringing a case of the light rockets. But... we also have 8 high explosive rockets.
We do have anti-armor grenades as well. How many of those do we have? Inventory guy / DM. Or comma DM, I should say.
No, I remember saying that you guys had some. How many plasma grenades do you have?
30.
Ooh.
Unless
30?
30 not including 30 including whatever Serena took.
I have 1 anti-armor and 2 stun grenades, which are not useful at the moment. I don't imagine that they're going to be susceptible to burning manganese.
So I'll say that you guys have say you had 20 anti-armor grenades. So you have 19 in stock right now because you have Serena has one on her person.
I'll call over the radio and just kind of give you a vague plasma and anti-armor grenades. She wouldn't have fucked that up. I fucked it up, but she wouldn't have fucked that up. Just to be clear.
Is that for you or is that for us?
Anyone?
Anyone? All right. Well, I'll split it. I'll split it between. I got some helpers here. Is it still just one robot?
Oh no, you've seen that as you've been listing more things off, and like the entire crew has, like more. 2 more have walked up behind.
Delivery bots have showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So you fucking will hand the.
However
However many
has arrived.
Case of the anti-armor grenades and a case of the plasma grenades to both of them. Split these like rations in a church. And
Oh, Jackson missed that. He stepped up.
Oh my gosh.
He missed that.
No.
Oh, he missed you saying it.
I didn't hear what he said, but I did hear something happening. And then I heard Kyle say he missed it. I was grabbing my writing pad in case I need
That
it.
was funny.
Seraphim handed a box of basically all the plasma grenades to one robot and all the anti-armor grenades to another. So, all right, now distribute these like rations in a church.
And that's why I had you repeat.
That's
Awesome.
That was awesome.
I knew it.
That was fucking great, man.
I'm putting these
like that
high
one.
explosive rockets and I'm putting these high explosive rockets in my pocket for safekeeping, and he's gonna fucking just any fucking pocket he has to put a rocket in, even if it doesn't fit, it just is above a strap. He's just ready to blow if something goes wrong. But he's.
Why do I feel like he's gonna come down and then at some point during the the fucking conversation and/or comment, he's just gonna pull his jacket open and he's just gonna have his thumb on a ring with a string to like 10 grenades in his jacket.
Sitting there
You think
moving
you could
his
just
hand
steal
back
from us and
forth with
walk
his string
away?
Going, you really
Yeah.
want me to? You dare me to pull the string?
I don't know. Heath
Wanna see
Ledger's
what
been on the mind lately.
I'm curious what happens.
Think you can just steal from us and walk away?
All right, I'm taking my I've got 2 rocket launchers strapped onto my back. I have a crate being followed behind me, and I have 8 rockets strapped to my body.
Okay. Then
Good
as
enough.
you're making
And
your way up, just up to the top.
Yep.
Heck yeah. All right. Then if you'll move your character up there, we will circle back to you in a second. Stone, I'm going to place you in the infirmary, and you are going to be.
Thank you very much.
All right, and then
not doing that already.
Oh, you're all good. So what does Stone do? As he gets in there, it's Doc Green is, well, the door is sealed shut, and as you approach, a scanner scans you, and then it opens very quickly and allows you access, and then closes and seals behind you, and you are in the empty infirmary with Doc Green in one of the pods, healing the last bit of damage on her leg.
Right. So I would probably make sure the perimeter of the room is well barricaded or properly defensible.
Okay. You could, if you wanted to, you could probably move a few of the cots in front of the door, but as well as, I mean, not as well, as far as it being defended, all the windows are sealed from the automated defenses, and the door is also sealed, so...
Okay, so
Yeah, if
I'm
you wanted
probably
to
still gonna
move-
slide that in front of the door
Okay, yeah, then,
for
yeah,
safety.
we'll leave Stone as he begins to kind of barricade himself in the infirmary.
Before he leaves the room, though, can I ask? I may have been not paying attention. Is Doc Green still in the pod?
Yes, she's healing basically like her lower leg to ankle and foot. So
I just wasn't sure if she was still in or not. Is it possible to wake her. I don't know the correct term for what she's currently going through in terms of a regeneration pod, but
I think she's
it
still
might
awake.
be
She's just
appropriate.
not out.
Resuscitate.
Yeah, she might need some help getting with the equipment, like getting it off of her and helping her out of the pod. But yeah, no, definitely could.
I'm not telling you what to do. I just thought it might be a decent idea to, at minimum, wake her.
If she has
Anything
to
else
move
is
in
up
case,
to
have it pressed.
stone. I just wanted to offer
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
'Cause
if
I
if
don't
worse
want her to
comes
be
to worse,
asleep during
I
this.
will wake her.
Yeah, because I don't want her to be asleep for
Uh,
this. If this goes south, talks to be
Yeah,
had,
no,
but
if things get bad, I will wake her. That was my general idea.
when the Empire drops drop ships and on all four corners, you tend to make sure everyone's awake.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure klaxons went off and around the whole building.
No, yeah, the HAB unit has not stopped making noise since the holes
Awesome.
appeared around it.
I don't think I have an alarm sound effect that would not annoy the fuck out of us.
I
Actually,
was
let's
about to say
see,
you don't
It
have
would very
to.
let's see if
quickly
it has one,
annoy us.
just out of curiosity. You
Just a
can, you don't have to wait for me.
Well, we will move back over to our our party that is venturing out.
The away team.
Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see if this one. Okay.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
something.
That's not bad.
Just keep it.
This is more like a submarine alarm, World War II submarine. Hold on, there's only one more. Oh, I lied. I don't
That
like
sounds
that one.
like
bad.
bells at a
Yeah.
Now there we go.
yeah. That one would bug me.
See that one I kind of was what I was
Washer's done.
imagining. What's the last
Yeah.
one? Oh, I don't like that one. Ugh, fuck.
So metallic.
Ugh. I like that last one. This
That
one.
sounds alien.
I like this one.
I can do that one.
I feel the vibe of that one in the hab. Anyways, yeah, unimportant.
You do realize that's almost exactly the noise we listen to daily at work, right? Because of that damn machine up front.
Oh my god, the fucking line.
That's why I said that one. No, I wasn't even talking about the line. I was talking about the beep from the system by the front door.
Oh my. Oh, fucking
That's
strangle
what
me.
that reminds me of. That's why I said I don't like that one. That
Oh
one
god,
would bug me quickly.
I have to share in your pain for. I would say damn you for reminding me, but I'll share your pain on that one. That shit, I fucking hate that. Our alarm at the building breaks all the time, and it just beeps at the front door constantly, all the time. It just beep, 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 beep all day, every day. Anyways, unimportant. I will begin venturing forward. Venture forth. Where
Okay.
exactly are we? Would you say starting out here?
I'll say where to go. Go ahead and place the truck wherever you want it. We'll just say that one of the bots placed it there.
Okay, I just quite literally want it
Ready to-
like at the edge, like pretty much tires are at the edge of the thing without the ramp down kind of situation, right? And
Before Serena pulls out, I was waiting until everything got done with what you were saying, but I would have probably looked up at, I can't think of its name off the top of my head.
Ragel?
I forgot already. Ragel, and asked if everything was okay since he was sparking more than I've seen, and he's been quiet.
One of the rings with eyes all across it slows and focuses on you, and you see that the eyes soften, and it doesn't speak for a moment, but after a moment you just hear, "They're despicable beings. Keep your eyes open. If they know I am here, then they are prepared."
So we need to get ready for even more than we were thinking. Shit.
am I getting any of this through his set of what Rygel is saying as I'm walking?
Oh, if I had the option, I would have turned it to open mic so that everybody could hear his response if I asked him a question and he was answering it. Because he
Honestly?
looked upset.
Honestly, since you spoke to him, everyone could hear what Rygel said just in their head just
Perfect.
now.
Mentally.
That's
okay.
what I needed to know. Brilliant.
I would have spread it instantly anyway. But yes, that works.
It is the same calm, cool tone, but you do hear a sense of urgency, and You can't tell if it's fear or caution in this being's voice.
Another small point of order question. If I speak to him in my head, will he hear me?
Have you tried to say anything in your head?
As I'm walking after he says that, I'll like attempt to say like, peace, Rigel. If they are prepared for you, it would behoove you to not make a move. Like, I'll think that in my head, I don't know. So I'd see if I get a response. I don't know if it works that way or not. It's telepathic or if it's just on his end only.
You do not hear a response, so you do assume that it is just kind of one way.
His way of responding.
Broadcast, not receive.
Well then, I will say and do the same as we walk down the ramp. Essentially, just kind of like look up at him, like before stepping fully all the way down, and I'll just say, "Have peace. If they know about you, they will have something for you." And I'm speaking redundantly. I meant to say they will. It would behoove you to be peaceful for the moment. Don't make any sudden moves.
You see the crackling and fizzling begin to kind of subside.
And I'll just like kind of, as I'm walking, assuming he probably has a really good sense of hearing, imagining that he can hear pretty much wherever. And I'll just kind of turn as I step down, and I'll just kind of say, I want to hear what they have to say. Yeah, so I will exit and have, I guess, I would have asked which one opened first of Max, and so I'll just kind of walk this way towards this one.
I think, yeah, this one opened first. Maxon, are you taking your position on the heavy cannon? Or the solar cannon, I mean? Or were you doing something else?
I said I was going with Serena.
Oh, okay, you're going outside, cool.
Yeah, because
Alright, I will also...
do what I wanted, and I said, yeah, I'll come with you.
Okay, cool. I got mixed up with everything going on. Okay, cool. So I will place you with Serena as well. Then as you guys all walk out, the same bot that pulled up the truck is also manning the turret.
Oh yes.
Hoorah. We've got hammers, freaking bot army, dude.
And I will say, it isn't like in there like a traditional person. It's essentially just kind of like morphed into it with just its upper half just kind of jutting out, aiming the machine.
Did it go, it's morphin' time?
Get out.
Okay, oh no.
Sorry, I had to with that wording.
It would if it had a mouth.
See, I can't blame him. No, that was too
I had
funny.
to, sorry.
That was too funny. Expertly
alright.
done, sir.
But yeah, I'll step out and I guess I'll start with like, do I see anyone? Is there any evidence of any moving things?
There isn't any evidence of anything out there, but I will say that there is a low rumbling coming from this closest one.
I'll kind
I
of like.
probably would have asked Seraphim to come to this corner over here. If you can see where my marker thing is at.
Yeah, I see.
Or that way he had a view of both of the holes on the other side plus the one they were headed towards, while I had view of those two over there. And hell, I probably would have moved to that corner up top to do the same up that way.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, you guys can position yourselves as you would like. Maxon, is there anything you want to say, like, as you're like walking out and as you get to this position, and as you hear this kind of low rumbling outside?
I think he might be AFK or he's having mic issues.
If you talking, we can't hear you.
He might have popped up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I figured we would
back to
have.
him for just a sec.
They would have handed me my rocket before a rocket launcher, and the bot would have split the ammo between both of us, I think.
I will say that the crate is just sitting in the middle of wherever you guys are kind of stationed, so you can just kind of
Run and grab one
like
with our movement.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I was
also
about to say it
got
shouldn't be very far.
I've got the high explosive ones on the rockets on me.
That's
me. I have. So I
Yeah,
just, you see
yeah, that's not far.
Seraphim coming up. He's got 2 rocket launchers strapped to his back, a robot falling behind with the crate of ammo, and just like rockets sticking out of him. I brought what you requested. One of these bad boys, and he holds out like a old medieval sword, palms up the rocket launcher to you. Sire.
Offering it to his liege. I was already thinking that before you said sire.
Treat her gently now.
That is fun.
She might have a little kick.
I already
take
love
it
this
now.
character so much.
I will use, if able, my bots to help me get the ammo if I pick it up and use it later. They'll be
You'll
my
have to
runners as my bonus action while
with
I
it
use it
being-
to fire as an action. Will that work?
With it being a missile, you will have to use both of them. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the 2 bots.
Okay,
Because
cool. I just
can't
wanted to make
send them
sure.
more than 60 feet away from me anyway, so I couldn't send them down.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah.
that would be-
So yeah.
Yeah.
They can bring you ammo, it's cool. Alright. Is Robert back?
Yeah, I did. I just went to the bathroom.
No,
I
you're all
just
good.
realized I never got let
You're good.
into Owlbear. That's crazy.
Oh, did it not? I never flashed a thing for me to let you in.
I might have
Do it again.
used the old link then. Where is it?
All the links should work because I usually click on the one from
Yeah.
last. Because I join in
Yeah,
at
'cause
like
I
2
clicked on the
hours
one
before
from
we even
last week,
start.
It looks like it.
Here, hold on. I'll send another one just
Mine gave me some issues, but I just
That's
have to keep
weird.
refreshing the page.
I've got the same favorited thing that I keep opening every single time because it's added to my
'Cause
group tab.
I did get in earlier.
tab
It must have like
There we go.
DC'd me. And it changed my name. That's weird.
Fire breathing fog.
There we go. There we are. Alright, that works.
That's
Dog.
an oxymoron.
Yes, exactly. I should have left it like that, honestly.
Is doing that thing again.
Hey, there's another Maxon.
The bacteria has begun to divide.
Oh, nope.
Oh my
we lost
God,
one.
it's-
Oh, we lost the other one.
Oh no, it started mitosis.
I don't know why.
okay,
That's
we're
the
good.
way
We're good.
going to
We're
work.
good, everybody. Don't worry.
I don't know why it does that.
It's bacteria. It's just you're just like a living bacteria, and you just divide, and you don't know about it.
Spreads, bro.
Spontaneous
Bacteria.
mutation.
Bacteria.
Spontaneous
And then he ate
mutation.
himself, so they
You're like
disappeared.
you're like a
Are
DC
we ready?
superhero that divides and like multiplies, except you don't know that you do it, which is the tricky part.
Hey, hang on, it's
What was the question
The germs
for
are
Robert?
spreading.
Oh yeah, he was.
We were waiting on Robert to do his thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is there anything Maxon wanted to say as you walked out here and everybody was kind of taking a second to kind of look around, and then this tunnel specifically started to rumble?
Can I walk forward a little bit?
They were
Yeah,
all,
you can.
they were all
I'll
walking
say
forward.
you can walk up to here. That's as much free movement I'll give you.
I'll make a perception.
So I'll be right with him.
All right. What are you looking for? Anything specific, or are you just looking, listening?
Just looking, listening, seeing what I can find.
Go for it.
13 plus 16.
It sounds like something is moving in this vent specifically. You think it might be coming up. You kind of feel a bit of like what might be like the air seems to be moving a little quicker, like it might be getting pushed up by something. But there's definitely movement in this tunnel specifically. The other ones just seem to be smoldering.
I have a
That
suspicion.
can be good.
As we're walking, I'm gonna radio out. Emmer, can you give me in 2 sentences exactly how they opened up and began to attack last time? Old accent. How they attacked last time? All the habits die hard.
Bored a hole through the floor.
Of the unit?
Yep, right through the hangar.
I'm gonna look up at
My
Rigel. I'm gonna
unit-
say, Rigel, leave. Ascend into the sky. Leave.
Without a word,
I have a feeling in the pit of my stomach that they are doing something to capture you. I will not have them take you.
Rigel lightly rises up into the sky, and the clouds return. But
We will
Rigel
call
stays low
if we need you.
enough to where, oh yeah, you guys aren't in the radiation anymore. So there's just clouds, and it begins to kind of lightly rain as Rigel ascends. You can still see him above the clouds, like a dim, shining light. But he is obscured by the clouds now, and it begins to lightly rain.
I'll look over my shoulder at Alex and just like, I have a bad feeling. Very bad. I'm gonna keep walking towards the hole, and I'm gonna look down in the hole and see what I see.
Alex
of
doesn't
course,
say
to block the
anything.
heat.
Alex doesn't say anything, but he's like audibly humming.
This man's gonna crash out. Fucking absolutely.
A little bit of the mathematician is kicking in. It's like
stupid little eyes.
It's like it's one hole last time, 4 holes around on the outside, and there's something rising up. Something crawling up my spine is saying that they're like about to aim something at Rigel and take it. That's like a giant battery. But yeah,
it is.
That's my plan for now. I'm gonna keep walking towards the hole.
Okay. We're gonna cut to Stone real quick. You have finished fully barricading everything. You've been hearing everything over the comms. Have you started trying to help Doc Green out of the tube, or are you leaving her there for now?
I figure she might. Yeah, you know what? I figure she might want to know what's going on.
Okay.
So I should
We'll say-
probably
Sit rep.
help with that.
We'll say that since it was probably pretty easy for you to just kind of throw a few cots in front of the door and then like go, yeah, that's barricaded. We'll say you've probably got her like out of the regeneration like fluid, and you're like helping her out of the equipment now.
I can't help
And
but feel like she's gonna
kind of-
step out and just say, "Oh, you blocked the door. Very good. Now undo it."
Yep. I need out that door. Why'd you block it?
She
My safe
as she
room's in
kind
my
of-
office.
As she begins to kind of come to, she just looks to you, Stone. She's like, "What's going on? What?"
Well, from
Is
what I
everything okay?
understand, there's many door folds popping up around the ship.
As you say that, Dog Green she's very pale. Like even for an elf, she's very pale. But any color that is in her face just leaves.
Oh boy.
Is the door sealed?
Trauma.
Yes, sealed and barricaded. That's why I'm here.
Thank you. And she just kind of she sits on a chair that's next to one of the pods and just holds the device that Seraphim would know killed the blood beast, which you assume is her focus, and she just kind of watches the doors and then the windows, and then just kind of like after a second just kind of starts to look at her notes. She seems to very like don't even have to roll for it. She's nervous.
Yeah.
See, I will place her. She is right here. Is there anything you would like to do, like real quick before we move away from you, Stone? Or are you just kind of like taking up position somewhere in the room?
I'm probably taking a position, yeah, somewhere in the room with Doc Green. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just go ahead and place yourself wherever then. And we will move back over. We'll make a quick thing to the roof. Is there anything Raziel or Seraphim want to do as they see Serena Maxon and Alex approaching one of the holes? You guys don't really hear you don't feel any of the rumbling, but
Do we see anything happening with any of the other holes, possibly, while the others are focused on that one?
We notice like we can see any other.
We can see 3
Anything?
each. Do we need to roll?
No. None of the other ones seem to be doing anything. But they are all... You notice the smoke seems to be moving in the same pattern. Almost like they're connected to the same, like, ventilation. Whereas the one that the rest of the group is approaching, the smoke seems to be moving in a different pattern.
It's blocking the hole they're going through, or shifting the airflow. That, or that's a completely different outflow.
Interesting. Seraphim's getting his missiles ready. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little explosions. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little explosions.
I would have loaded one just in case, by the way.
That was good.
That thing would have been loaded beside me in case I end up picking it up.
Yeah, no worries. Alright. We're going to transition back to the ground. Alright. Serena, since you are kind of leading the way, I will let you move your movement up first, and then I will move Alex up with you, and then Max and I will let you move wherever you want around the same
Right up
area.
to the edge, and as I walk, I'm gonna reach behind me and like pull the whip out of my pack, swirl it, and then like let it wrap around my arm, just so that I have it at the ready.
He whipped it out.
Indeed, I did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Whip it good.
I very literally whipped out the whip, and I'm going to pull my thumbstick down and peer into the cavern that has now been opened.
Okay. As you walk up, Alex follows you. Maxon, what are you doing before we move to anything more?
The response.
I'll wait until if we actually run into anybody, so I'm just gonna go ahead and follow behind.
Okay. And go ahead and place yourself wherever you would like to before we move on to this next little, interaction.
Because what I want to do might not even be necessary, and it's most likely going to damage me a tiny bit.
Okay. Do you try to look into the pit as well, or do you just kind of stand back and watch the surrounding area? Because Serena is, you see Serena about to look in, and you see Alex about to kind of follow behind.
Are there rocks still moving?
As you have moved closer to the hole, you see the rocks are moving, and they have actually started to move a bit more, and you can hear the rumbling a little bit louder, and you feel a slight shake beneath your feet. All of you do. Everyone that's on the ground, I mean, not the people in the hab unit. You do not feel this.
I can't give a sonar on that area, but that many moving objects, I'm not going to be able to tell which way, so I'm just going to go ahead and observe and look down too, with just my eyes.
Okay, cool. Then everybody.
Before we start anything major, I would like to ask the rocket launcher stats, because we have a regular one, and then I've also got the HE. I've got the HE rockets. I figured we'd get that out of the way.
I think the HE rockets do.
Well, I know the light rocket itself does 4d10.
It's 4d10. It's 4d10.
Yeah.
For a light rocket.
It's 4d10 normally.
And it has explosive 5.
I can't remember what explosive 5 does.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm scrolling. Explosive items and weapons with the explosive property deal damage in a large area. The damage or effect of the explosive is determined by the weapon or item used, with the explosive property listing the radius of the explosion next to the property, with an example being explosive 5 foot, meaning that the attack of this weapon has a radius of 5 foot. All creatures in the radius of the explosion must make a dexterity saving throw or suffer the effects of the item with the exact effects listed by the item. The save DC equal plus your dex modifier. Plus your proficiency bonus if proficient.
Damn.
Okay. And I'll say with the
Holy shit.
with the high explosive ones, rather than giving it a bigger area, we'll say that they do a plus. I'll say they do plus 2. Is it, if it's on there, we'll use its stats. But I was just gonna say they give you a plus 2 to damage, not damage rolls, but the your damage.
I don't see any damage thing for the high explosive on this one.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it doesn't affect your rolls, but it's like you'll add
flat
+2
+2
to whatever
damage.
damage roll. Yeah. To kind of like emulate like armor piercing damage.
Flat damage on top of whatever you roll, period.
Yeah, exactly.
So a minimum that you're gonna hit.
You will at least do 2 damage to whatever you're trying to hit. Okay.
In a radius of 5 feet.
Which one was that on?
The light rocket, or the high HE
Well, not the.
ammo for the light rocket.
Was it the?
Oh, you
modern
mean
yearbook?
the guns, bullets, and bombs.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot I didn't realize what you were asking.
And then now will everybody that is looking into the hole give me a perception roll. And I will
Absolutely.
of course roll for Alex. Are you using any special vision to look into the hole?
I honestly
Serena.
just thought about using. I was either going to ask Alex if he had any kind of light measures of some kind that he could use to light up the inside, or I was just going to drop a glow stick in there, one of our super bright military glow stick things.
I thought there was fire color coming out of it.
Is there? I don't know. Actually, no.
Smolder, it's not smoldering like the other ones anymore. There is like a very dim light at the bottom, but it does seem like something is blocking it as you look in. Alex rolled really high. Maxon, what was your roll for perception?
A 3. He tried looking in there, but there's just too many moving objects. It's messing with his field of vision.
I believe that
I'll
is
even
a
say-
23 for me.
Okay, so you and Alex rolled
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
I rolled
Maxon,
another
we'll also
19.
say that the heat from this pit seems to be messing with your senses a bit.
Yep.
Like it's very hard for you to focus with that immense heat without like the protection of like Serena's mask and whatever the hell's going on with Alex. But Alex and Serena, you both see it appears an object seems to be moving up this tunnel. It's covering all the light behind it, so you can't really see what it is currently, but it is, you would say, probably about 200 feet down, moving 20 feet a second. Or not 20 feet a second, moving about 20 feet every 6 seconds.
I'm gonna call down. Dobro pozdravovat! Good day. Anyone feel like talking? Just wait.
You get no response, but you do hear what sounds like a drill whirring. So you assume it's whatever it is is topped with a drill. Some
She's
kind
just
of mining device.
going to begin like, I'm gonna turn away from the hole and then just fiddle with something on my belt and just start like cursing in Scaldarish. It's just like as I pull a pin on a grenade and just drop it in the hole and then start walking away.
Out of curiosity, what do you say in Scaldarish specifically?
Fuck shit, fuck these assholes, fuck them, pieces of shit. Ruining my day, I just had a shower, fuck them.
Fucking shit.
Just
Alex just-
grumbling.
Alex turns to you and says, "Yeah, fuck the whole lot of them," and just kind of starts walking the other way. But Maxon, do you do anything as you see Serena begin to curse in a foreign language? Alex look over and say in common and start cursing in common. It's has she spoke Scaldari in front of?
I don't think I've spoken in front of anyone yet, aside from my passing phrases.
You hear Serena speaking a language you don't understand very angrily. Alex responds to it somehow. And then you see her drop a grenade in the hole and they both start walking away.
Okay, I need to ask real quick, completely related, when he asked me if I want to do something. If a weapon has the finesse property, that doesn't mean I'm obligated to use dexterity for the roll, right? I can still use strength?
If it has
Actually-
finesse, you can use strength or dexterity for the roll.
Is it optional? I was never sure about that. That's
Yes.
actually a question I've had for a while that I forgot about.
It is optional. You can use your strength or your dexterity.
I don't have any finesse stuff, but like I've always wondered about that.
Yeah, you do. You have a whip.
Oh, do I? Oh, yeah, it is
Yeah.
finesse, isn't it? I never
Yeah, I
never
forgot that's
thought about it. Because my dex and strength are both my like highest stats, so like I've never really thought
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I totally
the
get it. Like with your
modifiers are the
character, it
same.
is. I totally understand how you're like everything is a finesse weapon.
Everything is finesse and strength. in its own way.
In its own way.
All right, but yeah. So yeah, you see them drop a grenade down the hole. Did you relay anything?
As I finish my ministrations, I will ministrations for dropping a grenade in the hole. I will just radio and it's like they are probably not going to talk. Yeah, big rockets time. I think it's time to party.
Oh wait, let me check something. I didn't think about this.
I will say, as the grenade begins to fall, you hear something begin to be broadcasted over the speakers of the hab.
I will listen intently.
After it's like about a second after you relayed the message, we'll say like a few seconds before your grenade explodes. It is a message completely in Dwarvish,
Shit.
I can translate.
but
for
it seems very short, very succinct. It almost sounds like they're saying the codes that you've heard before, like when you found their code that was dominate, subjugate, overtake, things like that.
Seraphim, does Seraphim like say this as they go?
Well, Sarah, if you do hear Seraphim saying it over the intercom, Alex also begins to translate. You all, those that are fluent here, ceasefire, parley, demands.
ceasefire, parley, demands.
And grenade on their head already.
And about right after it says that, you hear an explosion, but the machine doesn't stop.
That'll
I
show
will,
'em. So
I'm
these
gonna
fuckers,
walk-
we do not
oops.
negotiate.
No, how the fuck did I grab Maxon? I'm gonna just stand out in front of the hab and just cross my arms, put my helmet on the ground next to me, and just lean against the wall and just wait.
So are we attacking or are we not?
Apparently not. I don't know what they want. We'll have to see eventually. I'm sure they
I don't
will.
get to blow up a single thing.
You might yet. Depends on what they want to say, which I'm sure it will be something stupid.
The perfect reason to blow shit up.
Precisely. But hold your fire for now.
Okay. As the rumbling begins to, as you're all beginning to say this, everybody, even people in the hab, begin to feel the rumbling as whatever it is probably about to rise up to the surface. Is there any last second things that anybody wants to do before it reaches the surface? I'll give you about I'll give you 6 seconds before it.
Just in
comes
case,
through.
I'll just swap my weapon. I'll pick up the rocket launcher for the first salvo.
Okay.
If something goes wrong and I'm holding my action to shoot something.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
As Serena and Maxon, as you are both standing there, you both see Alex look down and kind of look at his hand for a moment and just mutter to himself. Let's see if I can make this work again. And he kind of like flexes his arm again and then pushes it down. And then you notice he begins to shed bright light in a 30-foot radius. He just kind of lights up.
I spot him do this, and I'm gonna look up at the sky right where I can see Ragel. And I'm just gonna I don't know if he can or not, obviously, but I'm gonna assume he can. I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna go and just point at the hole. Just keep an eye, essentially, is all I'm saying. I'm sure it's quite perceptive. This old boy. That's all I do. Other than just, like, I don't know, loosen the submachine gun. Make sure it's good to go.
Maxon, do you do anything? Since,
plasma gun.
As you ready it, you notice not only does the plant-based sight pop up for you, Serena, it actually also kind of roots to your arm and begins to kind of stabilize itself. It doesn't, nothing invasive, but it just kind of like attaches itself to your arm.
Interesting.
Did you lock the door?
Yes.
Yes, my bad, Robert. What were you saying?
Can I take the time to draw a weapon?
Why do I need this back?
Yeah, you can take the laser rifle that you pulled from the truck, or if you have any other weapons on you, you can also pull one of them.
No, can I use it if the weapon is physically part of me?
I was about to say, yeah, if it's like, what are you doing?
Where is it? Here it is. You form a simple or martial weapon of your choice that you are proficient in, magical, and made from solidified blood, and return back to liquid form after 2 rounds away from your hand. You must.
Oh, sorry.
You must expend a hit die, subtracting your con modifier from the result, reducing your hit points by that amount.
Okay, yeah, if you'll do that, go for it.
I like how the mechanic works.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so yeah, just go ahead and do that, and then just tell us what weapon you form.
Okay, I gotta roll a d10. Well, okay, I take no damage from that.
Nice.
That's cool.
So what happens is everybody that's looking in my direction notice that Maxon kind of just opens up his jaws a little bit, and like where the gums are, they kind of just start like bleeding a little bit, and then it starts to like solidify. It gets harder and harder until it turns like a shade of black, and he's got like these 2 almost like vampire teeth that are coming out from his mouth.
Interesting.
What it being abided? We'll say that it will count, since it has to be like a simple or martial weapon. We'll say that it will count as like a dagger, because that's a D4 piercing. That's what the half vampire race
There's
in
an
actual
actual,
5e does.
There's an actual weapon for this.
Oh, what is it?
This weapon is a set of teeth meant to go into the wielder's mouth, allowing the wielder to make bite attacks. It's metal teeth. It does 1d6 piercing damage. But
Oh, okay.
you said I can use my strength modifier, right?
No, yeah. You can use your strength modifier. So yeah.
Does it get affected by the increase from melee damage that my class gives me? Because
It's not an unarmed strike. It's a melee. This would be a simple melee weapon.
Alright.
So yeah, no. If you use this weapon, it will not benefit from any of your boxing.
Or could I still bite as like a bonus action? Since this is like
You could use since you have extra attack, you can do an unarmed strike and then a bite, and then I believe if you wanted to use your bonus action, you can do another unarmed strike.
Alright.
So yeah, that is what you can do. But yeah, if you just do your bite attacks, you can't do anything with your boxing class because it's specifically unarmed strikes. Okay. Is everybody ready?
Indeed.
Or is there any? All right. All right. Then let me remove this because Out of the hole rises what seems to be a pod with a drill bit on top. What did you say? You threw an anti-armor grenade down there?
Indeed.
You see that the drill bit is
Speaking of
crashed, and the top of it also seems to be very beat up, but it did make it the entire journey. And there's a door on the front with no handles or anything. And it's just very dark, wrought metal. Almost kind of sizzles in the air. And after a moment, you hear it just kind of hiss and slide open, and you hear the metal scrape together as it opens. And it's just, there's a very bright orange light coming from inside, and what seems to be a humanoid figure.
I'll begin a kind of quick pace marching up as this is all happening.
Alex is just standing at the edge, watching the door as it opens, and then watching the figure as it moves. We'll see here, hold on. I need to place a token for the this figure. So, you will just put this. Actually, we'll put this.
Treasure.
Actually, put it right here because that's about where it is. Okay. Maxon, do you move up as the door is opening, or do you stay where you are?
I'm gonna move up too.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and do that. And as you all move up, you see the figure step out, and Maxon, you recognize the humanoid that steps out is who you assumed was the random vagrant that bumped into you at the bazaar when you were in that alleyway after you beat up that trash can.
I mean, when I was in like my fit of rage and just destroyed the dumpster so hard that I slammed it through the wall.
You see that same emaciated, pale humanoid with very, glazed over eyes slowly step out and very slowly and shakily begin to move towards you all. And as he approaches, Serena, you smell brimstone, and you're reminded of something familiar, something you did when you first came here. That smell, this figure.
I'm gonna get uncomfortably close to this figure, and I'm talking I'm gonna get right here. You can't count the distance. It's a foot between us.
As you get closer, yeah, this guy's breath is terrible. He's swaying and breathing heavily with his mouth, you can hear wheezing. He's just...
And just to add to it, because I don't really know what's going on here, I'll even lean in. I'll go.
He smells like the epicenter of a volcano. He has been sitting next to the core of the earth itself, almost. And then as you smell it, you're reminded of a job you did. A bunker. Getting documents. Shady character. Pale. Not this exact person, but fit almost the exact same build. They were a half-elf. This person's a human, but they didn't tell you who their boss was. They paid you to kill people, get information, and bring it back to them.
What do you want?
My masters wish to ask a favor upon you. He says as he kind of just falls kind of to the ground. Like you're noticing he won't look up. He will not look at Alex. Like he almost seems in pain with Alex being there, being so bright.
I even go so far as like I look over my shoulder at Alex and say, do you hear this shit? Okay. What's the favor? Let's hear him out, right? Yes. Let's hear out. Yes, of course. What?
As you say that, he kind of stiffens up and then rises up, very stiff compared to what he was doing before. And instead of his glazed over eyes, you just see almost a burning red.
I smile a little bit and go, there it is. Ah, I was waiting for it. Okay. Now speak.
Give me one moment.
You're rushing it, man. You're rushing it.
I'm not rushing him, I'm just rushing this guy. He can take all the time he wants.
Rushing.
I can pause my brain. But she does rush it. Not the DM, but the character. She'll straight up be like, come on, I don't have all day. Reboot or whatever your stupid brain needs to do.
You are all nothing but interlopers.
Correct. Nailed that one. Anything else?
You have meddled in their affairs for too long.
Also, yes.
Cease these pointless activities. You are not getting off this planet. Especially you. It says as it looks to you, Serena.
She just laughs. Right. So, I'm not getting off this planet. That's one. Cease the operations or whatever you think you can order us to stop doing. Okay, yes. Anything else, Alex? Any other notes you might want to take from this? You, Maxon, as well? I find these quite amenable. Yes. No problems here. Anything else? I'm sure there's more. What else? Keep going.
It takes a moment and looks to you, Maxon, and to you, Alex. Well, it looks to Maxon first.
Maxon kind of just so he starts to like bare his teeth a little bit at him, and like I can't do an intimidating voice, so you guys know that by now. But he just like he speaks up and he says, "I'd like to see you try and keep us here."
That will be far easier than you think.
What did you do to this planet, by the way? I did the mathematics on it. I was still a little fuzzy in the brain, but this is quite impressive what you did. Not in a good way, but like, you know, when somebody says, oh, a great thing has happened, but they don't necessarily mean, you know, good or bad. You have to, like, determine it for yourself, you know? It's pretty incredible. You have quantum shifted a whole planet. I'm impressed. But was it necessary? Was there a point?
An unintentional mishap. Due to him.
So who are the modelers?
As it says him, it points to Alex with its emaciated, pale hand.
Him? Him?
Yeah.
Alex is... He's like when you were a kid and you throw rocks at a big machine, right? Big ground driller mining machine, and you're not expecting it to actually do anything when you throw the rocks at it because you're 7 years old, you know? You're throwing rocks, who cares? And then the machine suddenly starts to break down and stop running. Fire happens and smoke. And then the machine breaks down. And everybody kind of honestly agrees that it's a good thing that that happened. That's him. He's the Rock. So what does that make you?
While this is going on, is there anything else going on in the other holes?
Not at the moment. The air has. Well, I will say, they are all still acting in unison, but the air kind of does seem to be shifting out of them a bit quicker.
Possible movement in the other holes. Not quite there yet, though. Over the comms, that is, I say.
We are aware of what you're looking for. All of you.
Mm-hmm.
We have intercepted it.
Am I supposed to be surprised by this? Considering the previous events that have taken place. You have not found yourself an opponent that will be intimidated by your actions. I have seen things that I honestly think that it would take several people to comprehend and deal with letting them go. But brain programming put in place tends to help you get over these things. So, I will tell you. Do you have any actual demands? I don't mean telling us to stop. What do you want? What are you trying to do?
If you continue to meddle in my affairs, child, I will destroy you. I will finish destroying stuff. I will move on to your world.
And then it looks
My
over
world.
to Maxon.
Ah, he is. I'll just look at Maxon.
Yours.
And it looks to you, Serena, as he says, and to yours as well.
You're welcome to come. Anytime. You know, I once watched what's the translated? We call them, in our tongue, they're called morale destroyers. And there's a reason. There were 5 of them positioned above, a super city on a planet. They destroyed it in 13 seconds. They should have had the shield. That's besides the point. It was pretty horrible. It was a big massacre. I'm not worried about you. So you want us to stop, yes?
It just nods. And as it nods, you notice now that there's some kind of metallic implant running along this human spine.
Well, damn, that's terrible. I guess we have to pack it up and go home, boys. Oh no. What a terrible thing that has happened. And now that we've stopped, what will you do? Grand plan.
I will simply sit back, let the children play, let them reap consequences they see.
And the human that is giving this message falls to the floor, kind of shifts and twitches for a moment, and then starting from their this metallic spine, they just kind of spontaneously combust. They just begin to just kind of burn away until there's nothing left but a charred skeleton and a metallic spine with a connection into the brain.
I'll kind of squat down for a second and look this thing over.
If possible, when we get the chance, I want whatever metallic thing's attached to him to try and figure out what the fuck's going on.
And as that happens, the other 3 holes seem to mysteriously just fill back up. Something seems to just kind of push dirt up into place. It's not very steady where they were, but they are filled.
No.
I need to get
No.
rid of-
After this thing finally smolders out, I just kind of sit there and watch it burn for a while. I'll step around, kind of grab it from the neck and with the metal arm so I don't burn myself, and I'll just kind of dragging the feet of the body with me, holding it from the neck. I'll just kind of take it with me and carry it inside the hab. Guess I got what I
was
wanted.
that?
Oh, you know,
I didn't get to
usual
blow anything
intimidation.
up.
Usual-
He's not using the intercoms. He's yelling this. What the fuck?
The usual intimidation tactics to attempt to make us scared and go home. You can be scared if you want. I think
No, you intimidate him harder and you call him a little bitch. It works wonders.
I
I wanna
probably
say
won't work
that
the machines.
For funny ha-has, picture that, like, wait, are you far from us, or?
But we all have comms though, even if they
We
are.
have comms.
I wanna imagine, like, he's-
Seraphim was just yelling.
It would be funny that, like, we don't see him, but we see like a little black dot, and as he's screaming, you can just see like those lines that are coming off of him.
Yeah, because he's up on top of the pyramid.
And like his head just gets cartoonishly big enough to match up to everybody else. What the fuck? I didn't get to blow anything up.
Well, my friends, I think it is time for a meeting now that everyone is conscious and has their wits about them.
Raquel, have mercy. I'm about to bust.
Before I get like inside the door, I'll stop and go. Oh, Raquel, you can join us if you will. I'm sure you'll be able
Is
to
the
hear
machine
everything.
with the drill still sitting there since the guy that was in it just died?
As the other holes filled, it was pulled back down and filled
Damn.
as well.
Just checking.
Just have a burnt guy.
And
I would have immediately headed down to put that body in a freaking stasis pod of some kind that doesn't let signals in or out.
Yeah, straight up, I take him into the infirmary, just still dragging him and just like toss him like not the incorrect way over like a gurney. So like gurney this way, I toss him over this way. He's just like draped over it. And I'm like, yeah. All right.
Skeleton, ain't it? It's a
as
charred
you s-
skeleton with a metal spine.
Yeah, as you throw it, nothing but the bones just kind of fall to ash, and the only thing that's left is it is a fully prosthetic spine, and what seems to be a lower prosthetic like implant that plugs not into the skull but directly into the brain and like makes up that lower half that it takes away.
The medulla oblongata. Sorry.
My
Hey.
body augmentation
that there.
tinkerers might want to have a look at that thing. And I'll take my place in the infirmary for waiting for if we're meeting up for I called for, but it's up to you guys if you show up or not. But I'm waiting for hopefully everyone to join me for a discussion. I'm sure we have thoughts to share with each other.
Is Maxon going to the meeting?
Yes.
Does he do anything beforehand?
No.
Okay. Then if you will head to the infirmary, as you are leaving, you see that Alex hasn't left. He isn't emitting light anymore, but he has moved over to where the drill was, and he seems to be running his hand through the semi-loose dirt. But he did not He is not making his way to the infirmary.
I'll make a point to patch him in.
And then yeah, also as you're going, you will bump into Hammer, who will follow you to the infirmary as well. Is there anything that anybody does on their way to the infirmary specifically, or is everybody just hauling ass there?
I'd probably throw the rocket launcher into my bag.
Okay.
Rocket launcher and 50 fucking rockets.
Oh, I figured the robot came and grabbed the case. I'm probably just grabbed a couple, threw them in there for emergencies.
Well, if
Probably
there's
say just
nothing
5, maybe.
if there's nothing specific, everybody begins to slowly make their way in. Stone, what are you doing? As everyone kind of begins to come in, as Serena throws a skeleton over one of the cots, and it immediately just disintegrates into a spine.
Which is just easier to put into a quarantine box.
But yeah, people are just beginning to kind of slowly make their way in, all except for Alex.
I'll just kind of like lean against the wall and just kind of stand aside as I'm the one that talked to the guy. I'll just kind of wait for what everybody thinks. Any thoughts that might flow out before I say anything.
Is there anything specific that anybody wants to do? Like just...
I would have started inspecting that spine while he was talking. Or while
I
she
was
was
about
talking.
to say, before Sarah, like, the ashes are barely cleared from the skeleton before Hammer has picked up the spine. Like, as he came in the door, he immediately made his way over and began to inspect it. So, is there anything specific you want to look at, Raziel, pertaining to it? Or do you just want to aid Hammer in the investigation?
I'll just aid Hammer. Because I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I was just going to inspect it and see what I could find out about it, personally.
Gotcha. Okay.
If he's got an idea, I'll help him.
But he's definitely got
And
an
I'll
idea.
throw on my reaction to add 4 to it, whatever he rolls.
Oh, okay. Well, he rolled.
If he didn't
really
need it, then I
high.
probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, save it. Like, don't worry about it. He, as he looks at it, you see him actually begin to rub the back of his neck where his implant is. These look disturbingly similar.
Do I need to inspect yours? Different eye?
No. It's...
So, I was talking and did not realize I was muted.
Oh, shit.
So,
Fucking
that's lovely.
nice.
Okay,
Um,
it
wasn't me this time. It wasn't me.
times.
Dang it!
What is Stone doing?
He's probably just... Honestly, he's probably just chilling. He was probably hanging out by the door when he was guarding it.
Okay.
Probably just asks everybody what happened outside, stuff like that. At least what he didn't hear over the comms, anyway.
Okay. Well, as he was getting filled in, we'll say that they were having this moment, and Hammer holds up the artificial spine and just kind of continues to run his fingers along the back of his head. Raziel, as he's doing this, you see that he doesn't have something running down his spine, but he does seem to have at least a partial implant that looks similar to this one. And as he's looking at them, he says, "Whatever mine is, it's definitely dwarven, but it's not like this. The metal's different. It's older. Doesn't make me like that." And he looks at whatever ash is kind of just left on the cot as it begins to kind of blow around. Unless there's anything that you all need, I would very much like to take this down to the lab and study it further.
That's fine. I might join you after Serena's talk. Because if yours is older, yours might be one of the original models since you found it, or they found it, and this was something later that was changed from the original model.
He pauses for a moment, looks at you, and he says, "It found me.
Yes.
That's why I am concerned. If you need me."
As I said, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, yeah. I'll meet you down there later.
He just kind of nods and makes his way out the door.
I'll make a note to also just patch him into the comm as well, so he hears anything that we talk about.
Okay.
So
he's part of the house we're living in.
Alex and Hammer both,
anyway.
right? Just more directly. Alex and Hammer both have a patch in. So,
all right.
Any observations?
They got away.
Got away is a way to look at it. Yes.
They seem afraid of us in some respect. They're trying to stop us from doing stuff.
That is true.
It's either fear or they really don't like what we're doing in some sort of way.
Alex,
exactly are we doing that's bothering them?
Alex chimes in very flatly, and he just says, "It's how they operate.
I don't know if it's so
Disrupt
much.
their plans once, shame on you. Disrupt their plans twice, shame on them. Then I'll let you do it a third time. This was strike 2.
Third time they need to fuck off.
But they're not going to.
What did they intercept?
We don't have the lucky liberty.
Probably
That's
my
my
plutonium shipment or some other thing. What else did we have going on? As far as I know, I think that was all that we had.
Apparently you two leaving. He looks at Maxton and Serena.
Oh, I don't care about
Apparently
that.
that's given.
So remind me. Did we already mention why they don't want us to leave?
No, nothing has been mentioned of that specifically yet. It's
I'm gonna
just
If you say
I'm
that
gonna
out
bring that
loud,
up.
I'll just kind of say, we're probably in some sort of scheme that they have planned out, I imagine, that they need us for something. We are
That's all
somehow
that Max
important.
really asked. Is just why are they trying to keep us here then? And then Serena.
who has the notes that you guys got from Ophidia that came with the tape?
Seraphim or Raziel, I think.
I was in the hab when y'all were talking to her.
So then, Seraphim.
I think Seraphim, because he had the jetpack, and I think the notes. I think.
They're probably somewhere in Doc Green's office since that's where he's mostly been.
Half track, not half.
You, as they're all pitching these ideas back and forth, what do they want? How are we interfering? You immediately think of those notes and how they were the plans to make that same half machine, half. Your character wouldn't know what a dragon is because they're not on Urmos, but it's essentially a dragon. Some kind of biomechanical monster. And then whatever notes accompany that are the first things that pop into your head when they're talking about like how we might be interfering, what we might be doing.
Somehow.
And also they mentioned the fact that they mentioned finish what they started. Finish what has been put in motion. Regrettable accident.
Somehow I believe they think we're trying to disturb their original plans before they blew this planet out of motion.
What were their plans? What's your insight? Did those papers Ophidia gave you?
Biomechanical winged creature?
Oh,
And-
the dragon.
They called it the Jabberwocky, specifically.
Jabberwocky. Because
But
they don't have naming sense. I like dragon better.
you
Dragons are
You
an
remember that
infestation. This thing is a problem.
you remember that it also had what was either a focusing lens or a focusing device to channel the solar energy that they somehow used to attack this planet. And Serena, you gather that from the way that they were speaking, they weren't trying to knock this planet out of motion. They were just trying to glass it completely, and you kind of assume that they hit it at an off angle. They basically sent this giant biomechanical beast to spread essentially airborne pathogens and bioweapons, and then it had a big target on its back that would pull that solar energy down to just slam right into the planet.
All of these machinations are... I don't like them. They hold a weight of destruction. I am cut off from my resources. So, if anyone has forgotten, it's up to us. We know what's going on. We're the only ones who do.
Are we for certain on that?
As you say that, Seraphim, you hear over the radio Hammer chime in. I reached out to Bunker B when we first got attacked, and I moved into the mountains. I haven't heard back from them yet, but they at least know that part of the situation.
In the case where no callback is usually a good thing, no answer typically. News is good news, even if it's bad. So until they answer back, I'm going to be worried. But worrying. I haven't done that in a long time. I have plans, things I can build that I couldn't before, but can now, thanks to you all, that may help me or us protect the Harvest 2. I'm afraid we have far more ethical obligations involved in this, which is, we know they're doing something bad, and it needs to end and stop. Problem number one, we have minimal insight to how any of this works, aside from the one that got blown up, and some historical people remembering things. And memory is not a super great informer, I have found. To not be vague, I'm going to build, if it works, a shield generator that will protect the HAB unit. Much like the one I wear on my arm inside of Sado. And I'll hold my hand out and you see kind of a hazy blue shield, and it looks in a spherical shape, but only in the direction that I point for a certain area. And much like this one, but rather than being directional and I have to focus on it to use it, this would be more like one of our ships, Maxon. It would protect it. Hopefully, at least from an initial barrage. I don't know how strong I can make it. But that is for a project. Well, its importance is growing, but in order to do it, I will first have to fix your ship, because it will take the Tesla coil, all the parts I've made for it, and other things.
Schematics. Will they be any use to you?
Schematics?
He's mentioning that if Maxon's ship has some sort of shield, if that information would help Serena.
No, this would have to be from scratch and from what I have available. But it's simple math. It's a matter of if the HAB unit's energy core can sustain something like that. If we can get it to what is the translated word? If we can overclock it to work enough, to output enough power, which might take a little bit of extra science.
Hammer just, you hear him chime in. We have more than enough power.
Then I'll see what I can do.
We're running off 3 solar generators.
That's what I like to hear. Give me time to fix his ship, get his warp drive running, his, what you call a storm drive, and I'll see what I can do. As for a larger plan, and I just kind of look around at everybody and don't say anything.
As you look around, you kind of look over to Dot Green, and she's sitting on the on one of the cots. Her mask is off, and her face is in her hands, and she isn't saying anything. Roll perception for me.
Perception?
Yeah.
It's always when it matters. 8.
You see her moving in an irregular way, but you don't really notice anything else. But she is not talking. She has her... I will give you this, since I didn't mention it earlier. With her mask being off, you do see that the gills coming off of her neck and face seem to kind of be like almost quivering, like with her breaths, and like kind of shaking.
And Seraphim roll?
Yeah, go for it. I was about to say, yeah, everybody can
everyone
roll
else is
perception.
far more insightful than I am.
Oh my god.
I think I'm lucky. I think
29.
I'm proficient in perception, but I only have a +3 because my thing is kind of low.
I rolled a 19 plus 10, so yeah, 29.
Dot Green is quietly weeping to herself, and almost like you can hear her breathing is very like almost panicked. Like you assume this is what it's like when an elf has a panic attack. Or is just overwhelmed.
Seraphim sits down with her, gives her a side hug, just, darling, it's all right, we're here. I can promise you that nothing is getting in, no dwarf is going to be getting through those doors as long as we're here. You have my guarantee. I'll blow myself sky high before I let any one of those bastards through.
I thought they got rid of it. I thought they killed it.
What did they get rid of?
Seraphim, did you bring the papers in here? Did you run and grab them, or are you just talking about them?
Just talking about them.
Jabberwocky. When I was young, I lived a life I'm not proud for, a life I'm atoning for. Things that we had to do to make that the life. And she just kind of stops, and she just kind of holds her hand over her face as she just kind of begins to waver again and trail off. Yeah. You said that you witnessed they had some sort of pump, some kind of unit to transfer. What was it?
I can't remember. I wrote it down.
Are we talking about the seismic event? I'm trying
Yes,
to...
it was.
That's what I thought she meant. I'm not fully savvy on that. That was other people that figured that out.
Oh, no worries.
No, I was just making clear for them as well, because that's why I'm not saying anything, because I was watching over you guys rather than actually paying attention to any of that. The most I got out of it was they're taking bodies and using the parts.
Yeah, it was a place where organic material was being broken down and being pumped somewhere else.
So I think Seraphim and others were far more attentive to that particular machine than I was.
Oh yeah, Seraphim walked right up to it.
I was further away from it, so that's why I wasn't really saying anything either. I was on Overwatch there too.
I think I rolled bad history though.
Yeah, you weren't sure what the machine was, but you knew that it was something that was pumping ground up human,
people.
elf, ground up people and sending it somewhere else.
It's either a food slurry or just a slurry.
Fucked up sort of biofuel, perhaps.
It's not fuel. It's genetic material.
They
Need
a
flesh
base for
to
the
make
body.
monsters. And if they're at the core of the earth, I know those dwarves are forging armor for it. It's twice as thick, twice as strong as the last one.
I don't have all the materials, but I have evil plans in mind. Something like that are unrealistic. What would be a realistic plan? Because I don't have one. Does anyone have a giant drill machine hidden somewhere that they might down into the core of the planet?
We have a little
No,
one.
but with your all your metal you brought in, I may be able to make modifications to one of the half tracks, if needed.
The problem with that, and my being facetious, is we are but a small crew.
Oh no, this wouldn't be quick. It would take a while, so it might be by the time we get to where we were going to resupply with people.
We do have the supplies for people. It is something I remember. We are well stocked for a small army. That's just how I like it.
As you are all discussing, you hear Hammer come over the intercom. Just got word. Bunker Beast will meet us at a rendezvous point on the map near the coast with some supplies and a few extra men. Though we will probably still need to go by there and completely rendezvous and partially debrief on our way to Sunflower City.
Now, what a coinkydink. Just as
So
we
a
were
crew to
needing
get us
an
there, and then the more people when we get there.
answer. These guys are going to be so well supplied, it's going to scare them. Now that is something I wish to see.
I gotta say, I'm liking this new personality a bit.
I've been locked away behind the bullets and the bravado.
Don't forget to share.
Oh, we are pissing bullets. Are you kidding me? There's plenty to share.
Don't load up on just one ammo.
Oh, and to the other three of you, there's one of you that, while a bit unstable, he deserves time outside too. Don't forget about him.
He seems quite angry, but it's kind of easy to ignore him.
Why ignore something when it could cause some fun things to happen? I say with a wry chuckle.
You do not have my memories.
Hey, I'm
Even I
going
do not
off
want
what
to
I've
know.
seen so far. I'm going well with my interactions so far. He offered to bring me a rocket.
As as you're all having this conversation, Seraphim, you hear Rigel's voice in the back of your head.
Just him or all of us?
Just him.
Because I've been assuming he's been listening the whole time, but I assume he just didn't have anything to say.
Bring this mongrel to me. I will sort him out.
Is it Seraphim just out loud? Is the mongrel myself? Are we speaking in tongues now?
Oh my god. Are we?
I do not appreciate
12d10 radiant damage.
I am
I
not
was
a
about
big
to
fan
say.
of riddles.
You don't take radiant damage, but Seraphim, you have a personality swap to... I have a feeling you know who.
Oh, he pulled him out.
I'll just kind of like eyes on the floor as that's happening, and I kind of like see that, and I'm just like kind of shake my head a little bit, and I'll just say, Rigel, did you get all of that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming, being a radiant being of your sort, you don't really have much to input other than trying to assist us. Yes?
Yes.
That is
I
unfortunate.
will keep an eye out. Though I do not... My time with you will not be much longer. I will have to return to orbit soon.
Tell me, you could answer this question. I have... My previous mindset, it figured something out about this planet. I do have a question. For a planet that is hurtling through the cosmos, like an electron around an atom, makes sense of the sun to me, and how it's there, if we are constantly and always moving, and constantly changing speed, but also not. How can we exist everywhere at once, and that is still there?
This is why I must return to the sky. Myself and my siblings are doing our best to replace the sun while the planet is in flux. And it pauses for a moment, and then it just kind of it looks around at all of you, and it's after a moment of silence, you all hear. My kind enjoy life. We enjoy watching it grow, develop, learn, teach. We will not see monsters snuff it out. We made a pact with the beings of this planet a long time ago. We intend to uphold it.
What an interesting planet I've ended up on. Angels that fall from the sky, turn into whatever he is, looking at Raziel. Large, radiant, holy orbs of light that float from the sky and enjoy life. This is very jarring for me. Very reverse. And I like it. Well, somehow we need more information.
Which is why I want to inspect that thing Hammer took. I bet you it's got some information whether they tried to wipe it or not. I'm hoping he's having good progress so far, or we make some together once I get there.
Well, Hammer's skills are advanced. I'm not holding out hope, but maybe he gets lucky. The problem, at least one I see, is if we want information and we want to determine what they're doing and trying to figure this out, how do we do that? They come to us, but we cannot go to them. Well, We can, but everywhere we would go, they would be ready for us, and they would probably know that we were there.
Well, before we reach the hole.
As you all are just discussing, you see what seems to be a bright light emanating from this side of the hab, coming in through the windows.
Is Alex still outside? I asked to the room in general, not to... Because I didn't realize he was still outside.
Yes, our old soldier is having a moment with the sand.
Does anybody stick their head
Seeing
out and
that
look
light,
out the window?
I definitely would.
I will definitely peek out.
Fine.
You see... You don't hear anything, but you see Alex on his knees, gripping something flowing in the wind, and blasting his I-beams into the ground directly where the drill came up just a moment ago. Just constantly burning straight into the ground.
I think he's trying to solve your issue of getting to him, and I'm gonna walk out the door, head that way to see what's going on.
I'm sure if he tries hard enough, he might get down there. Sure, why not? Burn himself out.
I'll hook the helmet on the stock of my weapon over my shoulder, and I'll start following them outside.
This should be interesting.
I was about to say, yeah, I will let everybody who is going outside group up.
Is anybody else following?
Yeah, let's say whoever is going outside, you can just place yourself out there.
So I was asking because I think I wasn't sure if Sharp had the ability to do it easily.
Oh.
I was about to say, yeah, if Stone is going, I can place him up there as well.
Yeah, I would much appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay. And then
I
what else?
I could care less if he has a mental breakdown.
Okay.
He's digging down towards the dwarves with his laser beams. Do you really want to miss it if we reach him?
I can see through the window.
Have that rocket launcher ready.
I'm not using a fucking rocket launcher. What am I, a barbarian?
Sometimes, as I walk out the door.
I will say, Seraphim, there's a very religious personality in the back of your head is telling you you need to go talk to Rigel ASAP.
Another yapping sermon is not what I need. Fine. Seraphim will head towards the roof.
Before we move on, I'm gonna grab a drink.
Oh yeah,
Where he came back to earlier.
Yeah.
I moved him out of the way to show that he left.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that little fire thing is the radius of the explosions. I had it at the ready.
Yeah.
Had that shit ready.
I was ready to beat ass. My ass beating was done. I'm here to chew gum and kick ass, and now I'm all out of ass.
So now he's got to choose something else.
It's still not gonna be ass.
I was about to say, with him having to go talk to Rigel, scripture.
I know.
Alright, but first, who is leading the pack as you walk out?
Is anybody else better? Wait.
So I think Razia
Anybody
was
else
the one
better
that was
with
walking
charm?
out first.
Yeah, I was going first.
Okay, yeah. Well, you hear Alex just screaming.
Hey,
And-
Alex! Don't hurt yourself. Are you okay?
He doesn't respond. The ground is like shaking around him a little bit as he's doing it. And you see like bits of slag kind of forming around the base of where his beams are hitting the ground.
Does it look like it's actually penetrating very deeply by this point, or does it look like it's still trying to get very far? Is he making progress?
It looks like it's definitely going into the ground, but you can't see how deep.
And he's been doing this for probably at least 30 seconds to a minute since it took us a little bit to get down here.
I will say, you have seen him use his optic beam abilities. They don't seem to go past 30 feet. You assume he's not really trying to...
He's just venting.
If he is trying to dig a hole to the dwarves, it's a fruitless effort.
I'll sit back and watch and wait for a minute and let him finish venting.
I'm going to approach from the front or on this side, kind of stay out of his radius, let him have his space.
Yeah, I want him to know I'm there.
Squat down a little bit. And I'll just kind of look at the ground where he's lasering.
Okay.
Considering that Alex was probably the one that, up to this point, has been looking out for Maxon the most, I want to say, he is extremely concerned for him right now.
I will say, he's been screaming for so long now, his voice is hoarse and he's not making any noise, but there's drool coming from his mouth, and like, if you get close enough, you can even see tears falling from his eyes, but everything is just getting like evaporated away from the heat of his, anything that falls next to his heat vision is just evaporated away.
Having been through probably something similar after I woke up, having been stranded here, I understand what he's going through, so I'm kind of going to let him vent myself.
After I squat down and watch him for about 10 seconds, I'll, sorry, I'm trying to adjust the volume a little bit. I don't want to suddenly get very loud on us. Anyways, as I watch him, I'll watch him for about 10 seconds and I'll say, it's pretty easy to be angry. You told me that the day that happened, you saw your friends. That was the last time. I figure he probably won't answer, so I just kind of I say that, just kind of nod.
As you say it, he cuts his vision off, and the hole he was shooting his beams into is just molten glass, just solidifying. As he stops, and he finally closes his mouth, and his eyes red, almost like his face almost kind of looks sunburned almost.
So
he just looks up to you.
I am curious. That note I brought you, I didn't read it out of politeness, but I am curious what she said, if it's appropriate for friends, of course. But what did she say?
Go back to the place where it all began.
Go there. Close your eyes. Picture it.
He closes his eyes very slowly. Now that he isn't firing lasers from his eyes, tears are slowly starting to roll down his face. And for a brief moment, he smiles.
I'll stand up. There has to be a plan. If we lose ourselves to the emotion, I don't know what will happen. They will win, do it again. succeed, destroy the planet in the way that they want to. I mean, look, and my hand's like shaking as I hold it up. I haven't been scared in years. It's been a long time. I don't know what it's like. I'm scared. Petrified. Paralytically scared. But that doesn't serve us to do any good. We have to find out what they're doing. It's good to let it out. Don't bottle it up. And I look at everybody else. But we have to be constructive. Da?
Alex, he just nods. He stands up and he's just kind of looking at the ground for a moment, kind of swaying, kind of out of breath. And he kind of stiffens up. All we can. Oh. I have to go home. I need a map. He says as he begins to kind of wipe his eyes and look around, and he reaches for something in his pack as he's asking for this. He sets it on the ground and begins to kind of rummage through it.
Tell me, that friend of yours that can get around, you haven't seen him?
Not since he got me on the back of that beast, that monster, and I changed its trajectory.
I could use someone who can get around.
We may have something. He kind of looks back up again. He goes, "I need a map. I need a current map, a map of right now." And he pulls out an old, very rusty-looking. It looks like what might have been the precursor to the data pads you are all familiar with now. And he kind of like pushes a button. It does, and waits for it to come on, and then hits it once again, and then a very old looking map pops up, and it looks like Ermos, but the continent, it's still a one big continent, but there's no big lake moving through it, and there seems to be a lot more cities on the map that he pulls up.
What's in your head, soldier?
I need to figure out where I am on this goddamn planet, and I need to go home.
And
he points to a small point on the map, the pre-war map of Ermos. I will show everybody on the current map of Ermos, just to kind of make it easier. We will say that he begins to point to a spot right here.
That'll be easy.
And he just
We're going right by there on our way.
Serena, did you had a map with you, right? Like you could just like have Sato put a map, overlay a map.
Yeah, if it was relevant, I would have.
Yeah, so yeah, as you see him pointing, he keeps saying, "Home, I need to find a way home, I need to find this," and then you put up a map of Ermos as it is now, and you kind of like move it around over his map, and after a while you find the point, and he is pointing to right about like right on the cusp of the wasteland as you approach the land bridge here. I need to go here. I need to get home.
Is this a personal trip? Or is there something there?
There should be something there. I don't know what. I think I know what. We might be able to contact, if he is alive. And maybe they're alive. He kind of says to himself for a moment. Regardless, if there's any way to contact him specifically, that would be the way. It might be there. It has to be there. The only other place it could be is where I was born, and that is currently sitting here. And he points right at where, on his map, it shows a very small town named Haven, but it just shows horribly irradiated water on the map currently. And I have a feeling we can't go there anymore. And if Phidia placed it, it should be this area where we all met, where we all decided we had had enough.
What did enough look like for him? What kind of person are we getting involved with here? And the others as well. And I don't know who else is getting involved. I'm assuming there was a fourth person.
Alex, he just kind of just kind of adjusts where he's no longer kneeling, he's just kind of sitting on the dirt. It's an elf. His father was an ambassador. He's one of the ones that didn't want to end the war. He sided with the king when the king wanted to call a ceasefire between humans and elves. They didn't like that. They sent spies and assassins and eventually took his father's life, and he was sent to the refugee encampment that I had lived in after my home was destroyed by the dwarves. Damn smart. I know we've never seen wizard. I know none of you have seen a wizard on this planet in action, but
Wizards are myths. You know
No,
a
they're
wizard?
not.
She's looking
Max-
like this is a situation where, like, when Peter Parker calls fucking Doctor Strange a wizard, or somebody calls him a wizard, or whatever. The whole how that argument goes, it's almost silly. It's like semantics, but it's very much like, you'll know a wizard.
he stumbled upon something. The device that he uses to move
Can I,
about very...
Can I chime in here too?
Oh yeah, of course.
Maxim was sitting down, just kind of listening in to the plan, and then once Serena mentions that they're a myth, he kind of looks a little bit with like the eye of like confusion, and then he goes, "No, they're not. They're more real than you think. Just depends on where you go."
I'm very curious about where all of these things fall. Where I come from, we haven't heard of wizards. It's like a fairy tale. It's jokes that we tell. Children's stories of, oh, the wizards came and deposited things on the planets and made them valuable and livable and so on and so forth. But none of that's true. We don't have any evidence to support that. But you're telling me that you both know wizards.
I used to not believe it myself, but trust me, when you see something with your own eyes, fact becomes stranger than fiction.
I'm having a hard time believing that you both have seen wizards. I am going to assume that you, because of your conviction that you have, as silly as it seems, it feels like believing that, you know what? Fuck it. We have a floating magazine comic thing following us around. There's wizards.
I want to say that Maxton gets like super serious. He goes wide-eyed. He looks at Serena and he says, "Trust me, Serena. The stories I could tell you sound like they come off the page of a freaking comic book, like the one that's with us now."
Well, it sounds like it matches some of our old stories. So, to retrieve a wizard, And how do we do that?
He had a special way to contact him, these small beads. I believe if you crushed them, or at least
She kind of starts
applied
chuckling to
pressure
herself
in
a
their
little
hand.
bit. So, a wizard that travels around magically and has magic beads to contact him. Oh, please, I hope this is true and you're not all insane. Okay.
This is so funny that like Serena doesn't understand the like.
Oh yeah, wizards
what
in the
it is,
Britannitar, wizards are not a thing. Like they don't exist. They're sorcerers, but like they're not really like in the sense of like a wizard being intelligence based, sorcerers being more passion and like more internal power based. It's kind of silly to her that we're talking about like guys that study and do magic through study and wave components about and make things happen. Something that's genuinely, it's like saying that like yeah, the people of Atlantis, yeah, I know one of those guys, to her at least.
So fucking funny.
Yeah, that's
Maxon makes like a joke. He's like, Serena, stick around with me long enough. I promise you'll meet one of them eventually.
oh, that makes me scared a little bit. Okay.
And then Alex just as you're talking, he's kind of just sitting there thinking, planning, and he says,
What are you
Yeah,
so
we-
scared of? They're not real. Remember, there's nothing to be scared of. Don't be scared of ghosts.
Well, I'm scared of ghosts. I don't like ghosts.
as you say ghosts,
Oh yeah, and ghosts are real too. Don't worry about that.
Alex's expression kind of falls again.
Alex would know that too, right? That like ghosts are real as well as like wizards and stuff.
Oh, he knows ghosts are real.
It's
Like,
funny that like only like Maxon's the only one that understands. He's like, oh no, I believe you. With the stuff I've seen, nothing surprises me anymore.
I was about to say, any of you that
You're
wa-
ghosts. She's ghosts.
any one of you that watch the sunsets here on Irmo see spirits dancing in it, acting out their final moments before the bombs fell. Like, ghosts are pretty like,
Commonplace.
at least like
here.
visions of the past. At least are very commonplace on Irmos. But he stops and he says, "Then there's Lily. She was his wife, and damn good medic. She wasn't scared of shit." Kind of says as he chuckles to himself.
Well, at the rate we take injuries, we could use another one of those.
Where he is, she should be too.
Well, that's good news.
And he just looks off into the direction of where where the hab is, as opposed to where he keeps saying home is. And he's just kind of like unmoving, still gripping something in his hands.
When he was talking, did it sound like he was having problems talking?
Oh yeah, he's like, voice is hoarse, like dry throat, like he can barely speak.
I would have stepped up with my water skin and put my hand on his shoulder and tried to heal him of anything that may have been wrong with it when he was yelling, and give him something to drink.
You don't have to like worry about any healing or anything. You give him some water and you hear it almost sizzle as it hits his throat, but he does eventually clear his throat and begin to speak a little bit easier. And he nods and hands it back to you. Thank you.
Not a problem. I'm just glad I had some fresh water for you. I didn't have any when I had my little moment years ago, but I digress. So are you good
need
now?
to get there. He stands up and kind of dusts himself off and here, give me 1 second. Oh, okay, I'm back. He opens up his palm, and who all is like? Have you all just kind of moved closer to him, or are you all just kind of?
I probably took a few steps closer.
Anyone that's like at least like close enough to like look over his shoulder would see that he is he's clutching what looks to be a charred ribbon and a very small tin metal, but it doesn't look like well made. It looks very like it looks handmade by like non-skilled hands, like very just patchwork almost.
Maxon looks over to the map and he's like, "Who wrote this? Some kid with a crayon?" It's like you said, it looked badly drawn, right?
Well, it was very old and like it looked dated by the holograms of Urmos today. It would have been like holding up a map from like a World War II map from like the 1950s that hadn't been like preserved or anything to like a modern map now.
Either a kid with a crayon or a very well-spoken chicken.
Jeez, this thing looks older and then he just cuts himself off.
Serena has never received a medal, so like I see the medal and I just kind of, what's that? A memory?
Got it from some people in a town I passed through right before everything happened. Smith and his family stopped me, handed it to me.
What does it mean?
I don't know. Them. People I fight for. The world I'd fight to see. He kind of says as he kind of starts clutching it again in his hand. The world I lost.
Kind of hard to blame you when you only have one arm. That was a joke, Alex.
He does begin to chuckle to himself, and he puts the medal away and begins to he tucks his map away as well. I would like to get there as quickly as possible then, when we are able.
Hammer, did you get all of that?
Affirmative.
Let's make it happen. Raziel, Maxon, we have a little bit of work to do. Maybe a little bit of a late night. To try and get our little project done hanging from the ceiling in the hangar.
Maxon, he just looks up and kind of like, not annoyance, but like you can tell he's kind of tired. And he just like looks up the ceiling and starts laughing. You know, it's funny how getting lost on wherever we are always turns into group therapy. Has anyone else ever noticed that but me?
I've never done this before. Is this what usually happens?
This has only happened to me once.
From time to time.
I'll look at Stone and I'll say, Stone? What? I don't know what you normally do. What do you do?
I read.
Indeed. Could you read in the hangar? And, I don't know, I might need those muscles every now and then. You know, lift something, move something. It's convenient to have you around. Alex, you should drink. A lot. And then, I might need your, particular energy signature over the next, few weeks of projects. I'm just gonna like look around at everybody.
After Alex finishes putting his things away, he looks back up to you, Serena. Drinking sounds good.
And everybody, we haven't had the moment yet. You don't have to call me Serena, by the way. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Yes, my name is Serena, but you can call me Ren. It's shorter, faster, easier. Makes me sound less like an alien, of which I am technically. And
I chuckle when you say that. I've been here a bit longer than you, but I still count as an alien too. I didn't originate from here either.
well, fellow alien, I'd say let's take this party inside.
Before I start helping you, I need to check in with Hammer and see if he's found anything out about that spine.
Absolutely. Everybody should finish eating. It's what? 10 o'clock in the morning, and we've already had this much emotional damage? Shit.
Emotional damage!
Emotional damage!
Yeah, no, for real.
Someone was gonna do it. Someone had to after that
I
interaction.
fucking love that guy.
Someone was gonna do it.
Yeah.
The only note is, like, as everybody starts to kind of walk back in, I'm gonna, like, walk like I'm headed that direction, and then just kind of come to a stop and, like, turn around and go back to that spot again where the hole was drilled.
Okay. Does anybody else do anything at this spot?
I am
Where we had this
curious how
closing note.
far the hole went down that he had
30 feet.
drilled. That's what I thought.
But I'm gonna, like, squat down again and just, like, start sifting the sand.
I want to talk to Serena for a bit.
I probably don't notice you hanging back to talk to me, but I'm gonna squat down and I'm gonna begin speaking in my native to Sato. You get any idea how far down this hole goes?
30 feet.
The larger hole. The machine.
It seems to just connect with a larger system.
The tunnel network?
Indeed.
Did you get any parts of it?
Above table. What do you mean parts of it?
Like, did he get any of it mapped out by chance? Which I doubt. But
Also, check with Hammer about that. He was doing seismic readings earlier. He might have a map of it from those.
I will get to work on that.
that would be nice if you have anything.
It begins. Sato begins to scan the area, detecting one body.
Oh yeah?
Behind you.
Oh.
Ah.
And still speaking native tongue alternate. Privyet? What do you need, Maxim? Hello?
Lost. Uh-oh. I think he's crashed again. I hope not.
The bacteria is dividing again. I do know that.
Shit.
We're up
I
to
noticed
4.
that first.
That's 4 of them.
No.
We got a doppelganger situation going on. Shit.
It's quadruplets, damn it! Quit birthing more!
I can't tell if you've all been replaced by a creature or if you're all just weirdos. Anybody?
You're the weirdo!
Anybody else is the Astarian line? I can't tell if you've all been replaced or if I'm just traveling with a bunch of weirdos. However the line
I
goes, I
haven't
remember.
played it enough to get that far, I think.
I've seen that clip many times.
I don't think I have.
Pops up everywhere. Now that I've said it, it'll probably pop up for you too.
Probably.
Probably. They're always listening.
Well, I guess if Robert needs a sec to.
So we'll come back in a sec, I guess. works for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll come back to you two conversating. Seraphim, how do you approach Rigel?
Seraphim. Where's my mouse? Seraphim.
On your table.
Ow.
Oh, heard Robert.
Yeah, I'm back. I had to go to the bathroom real quick. What happened?
It's all good.
I noticed you were there. That we were going to come back to us, though, because we were doing Seraphim for a second, and then he was going to go around and then come back to us eventually.
So yeah, I'll come back to y'all in just a moment. But yeah, so you just how do you approach Rigel as you make your way up?
Seraphim's not walking fast, but he kind of just slumps his way to the top floor and just looks at Rigel. Well, I'm here. What did you want?
Show me the mongrel. It says in a very booming voice. And your personalities change. Oh, you are the mongrel currently?
Yeah,
He drew it out a while ago. You told him to
Okay,
swap.
cool. My bad.
Drew it out in the lab. None of the other ones would talk disrespectfully to Rigel. I am the mongrel.
That you
Dog
are.
is here. Did you come here to laugh?
No.
Make fun of me for getting rid of my people?
Not at all. I'm here to guide you. Just as I am here to guide the rest of your brothers in your head. I just need to make sure that you listen.
I don't have much of a choice sometimes. I don't want your guidance. The rest can do what they will. I prefer to be left alone to my own vices.
I would enjoy that as well. Though, some of your vices cannot be trusted. So as long as we are on the same page, you will have nothing to worry about. I care for all life, and I will not hesitate to snuff out those that do not share my care for life.
Just another reason to meddle in our mortal affairs, huh? Can't let it be.
Look around you. This is what happened the last time we let it be.
Maybe that's something that should have happened. 'Cause look where it got me. Got me here. In this world.
Indeed.
Is that all you wanted? Tell me to fall in line? Or preferably sending me off?
Not to fall in line. Do not fall from your path. You may change it, but do not fall from it.
Yeah, sure.
And
Whatever you say.
Rigel just begins to float up a little bit higher. And it's no longer focusing on you with its eyes.
Seraphim starts walking back down. There's not much I could get done. An all-seeing eye watching my every step.
Roll your personality dice. Alright, so then explain the transition then. As you're going down the stairs, what happens is one of the other personalities takes over.
Seraphim cracks his neck and keeps on walking. Words ring true. I will make sure every part of me follows.
Hell yeah. Alright, and then you can place Seraphim wherever he will be in the next little, like, go around. We will move back to Maxon. Serena has just turned, and I'll just kind of let you go back over it again.
You would have heard me just like talking to Sato and like looking at the ground, sifting the sand through my fingers. Where the drill had come up through, just speaking this foreign language, going back and forth with Sato. Since I have the helmet off, you can hear, you know, Sato responding back in the same language.
So Maxon kind of walks up, and you hear me getting closer because Maxon's boots are not very quiet.
She does like turn and look at you.
You hear Sato does begin to say something, and the only word you're able to make out is he says your name in the middle of whatever foreign language this is. So you assume he says something about you being behind her, and then she turns around, at least for a moment, to acknowledge you.
So how's the progress coming along so far, Serena?
I just have to get it charged. It shouldn't be too tricky, but it's timing and making sure everything is set up properly. The tricky stuff will be the quantum ring whenever I put mine together, but that's for later. That's nothing to worry about for now. I don't know that I really have the patience or the wherewithal to spare to build a quantum ring while on the move. Well, that will have to wait till Sunflower City.
We'll figure something out eventually.
But I can outfit your ship with one as well. I have lots of plans, lots of things to do. A long to-do list.
You guys are still outside, correct?
Yeah, I'm just kind of sifting sand as I talk to him.
I can't remember. Did Serena explain how the quantum ring works? Because if she didn't, this
I never said.
Maxon would have never heard of before.
I've only mentioned that I need it to get out, but I've never said why.
Both of you make a perception check for me when you're done.
Alright.
Sure.
I was about to say, when you're done conversing, it's not
Oh, okay.
whenever you're
So
done.
can I ask her, or do you want to keep that part a secret?
Ask if you want to ask. You ask.
So Maxon kind of just crosses his arms curiously, and he's like, your quantum technology is much different from our eco-reliant energy. What exactly does this quantum ring do?
It's a different form of warp. Where I come from, there are multiple different ways. There are light speed drives, regular warp engines, solar warp engines that ride the solar waves and take you faster than light. Various different ways, various different benefits, and pros and cons of each thing. Quantum travel is one of the slowest. It's slower than light speed, so it's we call it light speed, but it's faster than light. But quantum rings take you only a little bit faster than light, but they allow you access to less troublesome routes to get from one place to another. But they can be tricky to configure, but they're reliable. Why I need one here is, well, as I've explained, this planet is acting like an electron. It's hurtling through the cosmos at a ridiculous rate. never in the same place, and it's everywhere at once. It is why I was curious about the sun. It's freaky stuff. Very freaky stuff.
Another thing that you will probably have a hard time believing, and I actually would not make fun of you as much for having a hard time believing this, is we actually, the way ours works is we found a way to, metaphorically speaking, tell the universe no and brute force our way through the laws of physics itself instead of speaking above the table. The way it's supposed to work is that like time moves around the thing that's moving faster, right?
Yeah, so from the perspective of the object, time slows down.
Right, so instead of time moving around us, we found out how to just punch straight through time itself to go from one point to another. It is not as... what's the word I'm looking for? You guys help me out here.
Efficient?
Yeah, no, it's efficient, but it's not as like...
Stable?
what's the word? Not majestic.
Elegant?
Elegant, yeah. It is not as elegant as what you're describing, but it does get the job done. The only downside is the amount of time that we have to spend recharging.
Well, if all works out, I should be able to baby bird your fighter on my shuttle that I'm going to build and carry it with us. So the quantum ring will pull your ship as well, and then later down the line I can build you one off planet.
So now,
Wouldn't take
now
any
that-
time once we're off planet, but
Oh yeah, I did need to ask you about that. Now that there isn't a uninvited guest poking around in your head.
she kind of
Is the
shivers a
plan
little bit.
still-
It was not an uninvited guest. It was... Seraphim has something to respond to, things that talk and listen. This was like the car turning on itself and driving away. But there was nothing there that should have done that to begin with. That was not supposed to happen. Whatever they put in there, it went very wrong. And I'm glad
I
it's
know
out.
I might have... Oh yeah, he remembers that, and he kind of feels like a little bit of guilt. So he just reminds Serena, and just in case the thought passed your mind, I know at the time I might have seemed very aggressive, but in reality I do not blame you for trying to steal my ship. It took me a day to accept that this is not your fault.
There are some holes in my memory that I don't know exactly what happened. And I don't remember making that decision. I just know that the programming made that decision, and I couldn't do anything about it. The only time I ever actually came through is when I was angry. That's the only time you got the authentic me. I am glad to be out. And to actually fix your ship, and actually hopefully get you out of here. And go home and help your people.
Question is, though,
I have plans there too, if I can help it.
What is the plan once we leave orbit? Do you have a way to get home, or...
Well, the shuttle should get me home, but we just have to get to the sector first. The quantum
So we're
ring
not-
gets us to
so
the
we're not-
sector.
Okay, so we're not going to fly around and hope that somebody's cargo ship decides to feel generous enough. We're not going to space hitchhike our way to get home.
No, we should be able. We should be able to get to Skaldera on our own. But I do need, not the programming speaking. I do need to return to Skaldera. I have something I need to do, and I kind of grabbed my armor a little bit and I said, "And I need my armor back. This is not. It's a bit awful if you ask me. This red, terrible. I don't know who the fuck decided this was a good idea. It's too much red. But I have plans, and I'll get up and slap your shoulder as I walk by and start walking in, and go and start working on the project. The project of the ship.
Yes. Okay, I think we can switch places to somebody else now. Also, I'm glad that I got that little bit of lore out there.
All right, Stone.
Punching a hole in time is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I like
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's just a big lightning strike that just punches through time itself.
Dope. I don't think I would have ever thought of that.
It'd be photon lightning is what that would be. Ignoring time.
Like it's a lot cooler because I want you to think about the benefits that would have in the real world to actually find a way to harness energy enough to where you can actually control lightning itself. Goodbye high energy bills, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like good shit.
Clean energy for all.
So what is Stone doing now as we go from like?
He's probably reading, still trying to research about that bone.
You found all the information you're gonna find on that. Anything that you're gonna learn more is when you go to the facility. There's
Okay,
no
so
more in
he's
the
probably
books.
gonna. Okay, so from that point, he's probably just lounging and reading normally where he usually does.
Okay.
Because other than that, he doesn't really have much to do.
Were you having him in the command center, or is he reading in the hangar, like Serena? I was gonna say, like, it's wherever you wanted him to go, but I know Serena made the joke about him reading in the hangar, and then if you wanted to like help with the construction, or if there was someone else you wanted to talk to on the ship.
Yeah, we'll say he actually. What did he read somewhere before on the ship? Was it the cockpit?
Yeah, it would have been the command center.
Yeah, he's normally reads in the command center. That's just his thing.
All right, I'll place him there then.
Aside from that, guys, I unfortunately have to go.
Oh, okay.
So I will see you all next time.
Okay,
Peace.
we'll just finish up the day here, and then we can we'll call it there, and we'll start on the next day, next session.
Cool, no problem. See you guys later.
Sounds like a plan.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya. Okay. With Stone reading, what is everybody else going to get up to as we go from like midday to evening into the night?
Well, I would have been going in with Hammer to check on how he was doing with the spine.
Okay.
And probably also to see if I could possibly have a conversation with the entity attached to him. So that may wait till later because there may be information revealed.
Okay.
That everybody may want to hear. That way we don't have to read it to Stone.
Yeah, we'll leave that for the next. Yeah, we'll leave that for next session.
Yeah, that's why I didn't push for that one because that may be another long conversation depending on how it goes.
Okay. So yeah, we'll save that for next session. Seraphim, was there anything you wanted to do specifically before?
Seraphim is also doing his own research on whatever technologies and stuff that could be at this facility. Medical notes in a different sense.
All right, cool.
Trying to figure some things out.
Staring at this. Cat was staring
Know
at
thy
this.
enemy.
All right. So, is there anything that Maxon is going to do at this moment with the little bit of downtime after the eventful morning?
Nothing that we have time for.
Okay. We'll just say that after that, everybody's just kind of. If you aren't working, you're taking it easy, I guess. one of the first kind of days of just kind of lounging around on the hab as it moves. I will say that
Considering
Alex
we didn't have a big fight.
Yeah, Alex, he drank for a bit in the mess hall. It didn't seem to do much to him, like drinking wise, but he seems to come out of there kicking bottles out of his way as he walks out, and only mildly buzzed. And he just kind of stumbles his way up, and he goes up to the top canopy, but that's where we will leave him. And then if that is all, we will call it there. Unless there's anything that anybody would like to do.
Nope, I'm just getting to work on getting everything set up, and then doing math on making that glass sphere that I'll probably stay up a little late to, and pull Raziel into as well at some point.
Yeah, probably. And at some point I may work on my pistols to possibly add a modification to them, if able, but I'll discuss that with you later.
Okay. Where was Maxon? Where was he when we're gonna end this? Because I'll go ahead and place him on the map.
And I do have one small minor last thing,
No, it's all good.
but it's for Hammer.
Okay. You could just like over our private line if it's something private, or if you want to.
No, it's
ask
just
him-
a quick conversation is all.
Okay, yeah, we can do that real quick. What Maxon? Where do you want to be on the hab?
I'm gonna go get a sandwich. So
Okay. We'll say for a bit.
I'm hungry.
It's lunchtime.
You're the one who saw Alex kind of drinking in frustration as he drank more and more, and it didn't really seem to do much till he really started to drink, and then he just kind of quietly stumbled out of the door and somewhere. You assume upstairs, but
Just
Okay.
in case, if I'm told about how much it took to get him drunk or even buzzed, I would have probably started trying to figure out a way to make some stronger alcohol for him. Distilling the hell out of what we have just to make it to where he could just take like one glass and drink it instead of bottles and
Flashing.
then get drunk immediately. Even if it
thinking-
doesn't last long.
I'm thinking of that thing that they give to Barry in The Flash to get
Oh,
him
yeah.
drunk. It's like, isn't it like a syringe or
I'm
something or
thinking of
whatever?
the Thor alcohol.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
That Stan Lee gets knocked out from
Yeah.
a thimble.
Excelsior.
Yeah. There's some things that come to mind. That's the reason I said that, because you can distill down some alcohol into some shit.
okay. So what was that small conversation that you wanted to have with him?
When I go up after, the day of things of working on the ship and like getting the Tesla coil ready and getting the engine ready and stuff, I think everything's like mostly ready, but I take the kind of the measurements and the way to construct this glass sphere up to Raziel for me and him to work on, and Hammer if he also joins in. And then I also, after discussing it with them, I'll like kind of Hammer. I have an interesting project request, which might take both of us in whatever spare time we have. And I'll flash up like an image of, it looks like a small, well, I'm holding my hand like this, but it's like this size, and it looks like a handle with it kind of just looks like a club, like a billy club or something. And then the image flashes and it expands, and there is a sort of axe blade looking sort of thing coming off of the side of it. And it looks essentially like a great axe. And it's a bit rudimentary, but for dwarves, it would work well. I'm thinking of the blade being a sort of sustained plasma. It will have some, obviously that's a high energy thing to sustain, so it would only have so many times that I could hit with it, but that's the point, is to hit with it. And then whatever residual energy is, it cannot be drained completely as it's, the reaction takes place. Once the blade is drained, it would just essentially be a spiked club, but it's like plasma spikes, kind of. And I need it to expand and collapse. That would be convenient. And also a little plasma spike at the bottom. But that's
because I would have been standing there while you were talking about
Yeah.
that. I would have been going, "Oh, that is a very nice design."
We'll need some good magnets and spare time.
I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of time, and we have the magnets. Give me your design. I'll see what I can come up with.
And I'll flash the image. Don't try to read it because you're not going to read anything, but it's essentially... I did sketch it earlier. Like, I had it in my head and I was like, I know what it looks like! Yeah, that's all I got. Shield gen, fix the ship, battle axe. I don't even know what else. I have a bunch of shit wrote down. Busy little bee.
Alright then.
Not to quote a shitty
guess-
emperor from a really good movie, fucking Joaquin Phoenix, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Gladiator. It's the scene where he like threatens his sister, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
Because when he figures out what they're doing, that they're about to like try and overthrow him or whatever, he gets a little mad. He gets just
A little bit pissy.
He's a little pissy. He's a pissed off man.
Say before.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Come on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna have Seraphim before he starts studying his notes check in on Doc Green.
As you step into the infirmary, you see that she put herself back in the chamber. Her foot is fully healed, but she's still seems to be in the chamber.
Safe in there.
I was about to say that's her safe zone.
I understand its safety. For me, it's a lot. I don't like being in there, but I get it.
You got to think we saw her gills too. She's comfortable in liquid.
Well, knowing that she's fine, yeah, that's when Seraphim will go and do his own research.
All right. And yeah, we will pick up on this as you guys come back in to finish up this day.
Hell yeah.
Hunan.
Okay.
You have no idea how hard it was for me not to say making my way earlier. I had my mic muted, and I almost... Inside joke for anybody that watched Campaign 2 of Critical Role. They don't do it. They didn't really do it during the third one very much.
They were very wary of
only a
not
2.
catching themselves in that trap.
Again. They're like, that was our stick for the second one. We're not doing that again. We're going to do something different.
Is
They
there
did.
anything that you guys have for me
Stop it.
before I get off of here?
Stop it.
That's all I got. I'm good.
Yep.
Cool project and all that. Aside from the modification possibly being a force enchantment enhancement thing, that's about all I was going to talk to you about.
More stuff.
But that can be later.
Just sent you.
Oh, shit, okay. Hell yeah. Oh my god. Hell yes. Alright.
Sent some good stuff.
Alright.
Got.
Um,
Actually, I think that might. Oh well, this kind of fits. This is a combination that right here.
Robert, is there anything that
Is what?
you need to ask? Is there anything that you need to ask before I get off of here?
All I'm gonna say is that was hilarious with like the wizard thing.
No, that was
now
great.
you guys know Britannitar doesn't. The wizards are like a myth. That's Santa Claus shit.
It would have been fun. It would be really funny, like if in some scenario, Serena does meet like one of Maxim's friends, and then she's like, "Who's this guy?" And he's just like, "Just show her what you can do." And then he just transforms into like a giant owl.
He's a wizard, Harry.
He's a
See, I
hairy
told you.
wizard.
How did you what? And then she's like, "What? How did you do that?" And he goes, "Oh, well, a lot of birthday parties."
A lot of birthday parties.
Yeah, Britannitar is there are spellcasters and there's like druids and stuff. Like all that stuff is still there. It's just like wizards specifically, wizards of like your typical sort. I mean, of any kind really. People that study and learn how to use magic. Most people that use magic, it's innate abilities. There's no one that like seeks out to study it and learn it in the way that they do. They're that's kind of like a lost thing, a mythological thing of the past. It's like the soothsayers in Greece. They would like inhale the fumes of like the volcanic fumes and shit like that, mineral fumes, and would hallucinate. It's kind of like that. It's like yeah, they saw the future.
Definitely.
It's very heavily rooted in like. Not rooted. It's very heavily looked at with disbelief, and people don't necessarily give any like anything to it of like truth.
All right, I'm gonna get off of here. I will talk to you guys later.
See you later.
Yes, sir.
See you later. Night.
So now what? Because you guys are with me, I am in the mood for burning things up.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
An owlbear room with 5 Maxims. We'll leave.
Run! Run before it gets you.
He was stuck in a room with 5 Maxims.
You know, the way you say that reminds me of that fucking image of like the girl on the couch and there's like 5 guys behind her.
5 black guys behind her. A little white girl.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to be in the middle of that. Seraphim in front of 5 Maxims.
I was.
Oh, I know what you guys are talking
TikTok,
about.
And some girl had
That
been sent
meme.
something to react to, and she started. It started, and the 5 guys showed up in the back as it was going down, and she immediately fucking stopped it. She's like, "You bitch," because it would have put her where the blonde girl was, and she's like, "Bastard."